Are y'all ready to have some fun? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Carolyn's Corner Live. The show will begin shortly. Thanks for joining us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Carolyn's Corner Live. We are so glad you've all joined us tonight. As you can see, we have a big group of people in here tonight, and it is going to be a party. Well, we don't have any food or drinks, but we're going to have a party just the same. So we've got a lot of great people on the show. Well, technically, it's kind of in the show, right? In the show, on the show, because you're kind of on the screen and you're in the show. Paul, we need to address that and make sure we get that right next time.
Sure, yeah, I'll make that happen.
Poor Paul. So, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of Paul, for anyone who knows, let me make sure I got that on public. I always try to do that. For anyone who doesn't know, or you do know, you recognize this great guy, Mr. Paul Gallagher. Hey, Paul. Oh, God. In a million years, did I think I was ever going to see that? No. Oh, my God, Paul. He's making me look even worse, y'all, because he knows he's learning guitar more than I have, and I've been trying to play forever.
My fingers are hurting.
I know. I'm so proud of you, Paul. I'm so proud of you. So up on the right corner, left, depending on where you're sitting and which way your screen is going, because I have no idea, is our dear friend Jerry Bradley back for the evening. Hey, Jerry.
Hi.
Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. It's really nice to have you tonight.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to see my friend Heather, who lives about half hour down the road from me.
Wow, not far at all. That's so cool.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't know about where she lives, but where she works is about half hour down the road. Where she has her.
He lives.
Yeah, so y'all are really fairly close to each other in the scheme of the world.
You have to come over and check out the nursery. We got the nursery fully
I thought you were talking to me. I'm like, okay, I'll be there in about 2 days. Or maybe 3. I don't know. Just give me some time.
In fact, Laura's at Dirtbags tonight doing a farmer's market.
Who is?
My wife, Laura.
Oh, it's a place called Dirtbags. That's cool.
It's called Dirtbags. It's a brewery, and they do big farmers market. And
wow.
So all the people go, and the spouses buy a bunch of flowers, but their better half gets drunk, and then they can spend more money to get more flowers and stuff.
Yes.
You know,
that sounds like my kind of place. And then best of all, when they get home, then the wives make their husbands plant all the flowers. Yes.
Yeah. Nope. Not me. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh, it's like we're talking about me and my husband. What's going on here, Jerry? Yeah. So that sounds like a lot of fun. So right below Jerry, sort of kind of to his. Well,
you're looking
anyway, right below in the black. And you can't miss her. She's so gorgeous. The amazing Miss Taylor Hughes.
Hello, y'all.
Hi, Taylor. We are so glad you're here. I already know this is going to be a lot of fun tonight. I'm super stoked. And my gosh, I was looking at your Facebook page. I shared one of your songs where you were playing it live. And I was like, how did we get so lucky to have such an amazing...
I just watched that, too.
Isn't so amazing? And that was just you with your guitar. And just you, my son says I say guitar, by the way, guitar. I said, I don't say guitar, I say guitar, but I don't. Just you and the guitar, now I'm like focused on it, was amazing. I was like, oh, Paul Hughes. Oh, Hubs plan everything. I'm guessing maybe that's your husband, or is it someone else that's called Paul Hughes, or maybe it's the dad.
That is my daddy.
Yay! Yeah. That is so cool. Paul, I'm so glad you're on here with your daughter, supporting her. I know you're a big supporter of hers. I think she is incredible. And I know everyone on my show and around everywhere in the internet, you know what I mean? I'm learning all these new terms, is going to love her. So I've got one more person to introduce. Over here to that side.
That's to your left.
Well, not really. Yeah, I guess it is to my left. Is an amazingly great lady. I've already fallen in love with both of you ladies. I'm not even kidding. It's like we've best friends. We've known each other forever. This lady's name is Miss Heather Lee Ryan, and it's L-E-A. I just been calling her Heather. It's like we're old buddies. Heather, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you.
You are welcome.
I'm excited to be here and surrounded by some really awesome people. This is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a blast. So I see Sean Christopher is trying to get in. Paul, is there any way you can message him maybe? Because he said he's tried to get on, but his account is locked.
I don't know why his account blocked.
I don't know. I had issues with Jerry too. I not me. That didn't sound right. Jerry had issues coming on. I did add some more locations. So now not only are we being streamed to my Carolyn's Corner and my Facebook and my Twitch and my Twitter, boy, there's a lot of places, but we're also being faked. It's so funny. I'm like, no wonder I'm tired. I'm on the other Facebook right now. We're all there. Aren't y'all exhausted? I'm on the other page. I'm on the Carolyn's Fun Time Karaoke. Whew. We're all over the world and we ain't even having to leave the house. So this is great. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm tired. We're going everywhere. So I hope I didn't mess anything up because, I'm so computer literate. Yes, exactly. So you see what I mean? But I did call the help desk and they helped me. I actually found a help desk through this great program Restream that actually helped me. Now let's pray that that's not what caused the issues. Sean, Paul, is there any way you can message him and see? Because I don't.
I did. I texted him.
Paul is awesome. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, in case you noticed, I have been advertising this everywhere. I made my first official video commercial for this show, and I hope to continue that. I'm trying to learn all these great things. Poor Paul has to put up with me. I'm like, Paul, how do you do this? What does this do? What does that do? But I hope I can learn more so that way I won't have to keep bugging you as much, Paul. So,
yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, I made those.
It's okay. Big. You know what? That's what I'm here for.
Well, no, you're here for a lot more than that, but I appreciate everything you always do.
Free help. You got to love it.
I do.
Yeah, I know.
If you weren't on, I wouldn't have anybody to pick on because I can't pick on Carolyn.
That's true. You could pick on me. I mean, everybody. I pick on myself.
Yeah, but since it's your show,
I
probably shouldn't.
Well, it's
you can control. Yeah, you can hit the delete button and I'd be gone.
Yeah, so. Well, there is a little button over here. I just go slide, and it goes put you in the waiting room.
I can't find that button.
I know Paul don't have one. If he had one of those, he would have used it so long ago on me. I'm not even kidding. He would have been like, slide, go away, go away, go away. As many years as we've known each other. Oh my gosh, Sean, I hope that y'all can get it fixed. I don't know what to do because after all, I'm such a computer pro. I mean, Sean, try to use a different email. That's what Jerry had to do to get on. So it may be something I messed up. Can you imagine that? Wow.
No.
So I want to get to know everybody. I already know you, Paul, and I know you, Jerry, but there's two ladies here that I don't know as much about. And I want to give all of our viewers and fans of this lovely woman. And I think that's the first time I've used that term on this show. Taylor Hughes fans. Nice. Has a nice ring to it. I am now your new fan, by the way. I hope that's all right.
I am too.
Absolutely.
Yay. So we are big fans. And I like that picture you put on your Facebook with that sparkly dress, some award ceremony.
Oh,
it was gorgeous. I was like, oh my God.
Facebook stock.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's what I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Folds of Honor. It was a
stock.
picture where you raised money for Folds of Honor.
Oh wow. Stalker too.
Jerry is a stalker.
You have stalkers.
I saw Folds of Honor and I got real interested.
Yeah, that's funny. See, we okay, that is so funny. That's how we research.
Yeah.
Hello, okay, Sarah. Beautiful. Hello, Mark.
I seem to be the only one out of the group that doesn't Facebook stock, so I'm trying to figure that.
You really should. Okay, so what you do is you go to their profile. You just go to their profile and go, what have they been up to? And by the way, during my investigation of you, Miss Taylor, I noticed that you are doing a lot of shows, like a lot of shows.
I am, yeah.
Wow.
Actually crazy. I just got back. I was on the road over the weekend and I had 3 events. And one of them was the Folds of Honor thing. And then I'm actually going out of town Friday morning to go play in my hometown. And then I'm coming back Saturday and then doing something here in Nashville on Sunday morning.
Oh, fun. That's going to be neat.
Warrior.
Paul has a trailer that you can use.
Yes,
I need one. I just drive in my car, and so
well, pretty soon after you come on our show, you'll have so many more fans. You're going to need a bus.
Well,
I'm putting it out to the universe, right, guys? That's what it is. Okay, she needs a bus driver. You need a bus driver?
Yeah, I hate driving.
Oh, so me too. I fall asleep.
Ride the bus.
Paul.
Well, when
Taylor, don't you get a lot of like if you have to do like long drives, don't you get a lot of like writing done in your head, or do you just kind of turn off the radio and just try and think of different lyrics that might work? Or, if you look over at somebody else, kind of get an idea, you become very voyeuristic, to other people and trying to figure out their life. Do you think of things on the road?
That's a good question. Excuse me.
Most of the times I'm traveling by myself. But I usually have the music just blaring. Like I've got one of my Spotify playlists going, but a lot of the times I'll be listening to music with the purpose of, one, to keep me awake because I will fall asleep while I'm driving.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, be careful with that.
Yeah, but also just to kind of get like song ideas, because even like just a random lyric in a song that really doesn't have like that much importance could be turned into a whole different song. And there have been a number of ideas and songs that I've written from just driving on the road by myself, or I'm in the car with my dad, because my dad acts as my manager right now. And
thank you for that.
Yeah, travel a lot. So like him and I will bounce ideas off each other because we're too.
So maybe it's kind of like an office. Do you, if you're passing somebody, I've always wanted to know this. You have a beautiful voice. So when you pull up and you're at a stop sign, do you stop singing, or do you continue singing knowing that they're staring at you?
Ooh.
I usually just keep singing because I'm just, you're
like, I'm in my zone.
I'm in my zone. I am.
Absolutely.
Or I'm doing really embarrassing vocal warm-ups. So if like people heard me, they'd be like, "Oh my God."
Do you do the warm-up where you go? Tell me what you do. That's a good point.
Well,
is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret. They're just awful noises. There's one that sounds like a fire engine, like a fire truck.
Really?
Yeah, or like a siren. So when
For real?
Like if I roll down the window, I probably could like get by as being like, a fire. Something like that.
I am intrigued with a girl who's on TikTok who does the choo-choo train.
Look what your dad said.
Oh my Lord.
I'm intrigued.
Oh, that is so funny, Paul.
I've been trying.
Oh my God.
Working on it.
I was thinking, pardon me, do you have any grape on?
Okay, so there's a funny story behind that. We were driving and I was probably in middle school and I was in the car with my mom and we were at a stoplight and this older gentleman was like, hey. And I was like, Mom, I think he's trying to get your attention. And we rolled down the window and he said that to us and my mom died laughing. And I was like, what is this crazy man talking about?
You didn't realize it. Yeah, you have to go back. Just like, where's the beef? Does anybody remember that? I had the same similar thing. Where's the beef?
Yeah.
Because I worked at Wendy's, my first job, and we forgot to put the meat in a hamburger patty and a burger. And they came through the drive-thru and said, where's the beef? And it was right when all that was out. And I was like, you're kidding me, right? I thought that was so funny because I was like, no, come on, we did not. He goes, yeah, there's no beef.
You're like, where's my food?
Oh my God. Kids, by saying that, the kids these days are like, that is so stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Because the older parents are like, that is so great.
Yes, it's so great. Well, it's a generation. So Taylor, besides your vocal warm-ups, tell us a little bit about yourself. Let everybody know where you're from, what you do besides beautiful voice. Go ahead. Go on ahead.
Well, I'm a Kentucky native. I'm originally from Lexington, Kentucky. I moved down to the Nashville area almost 5 years ago to pursue my dream in music, obviously. I've done since I was itty bitty and like preschool. We have some really funny home videos of me doing like, how they put little talent shows on or like the group like performances. We have videos of me like pushing girls out of the way so I can be in the front to sing.
Wow.
I swear I was a nice kid. I just wanted my solo.
That is so great. But you were destined for stardom.
I'm very good at this. I should be first chair.
There's a video where I turn a girl and I'm like, shh. Like,
that's so funny. Oh my God. And you're such a nice person. I can't even picture you doing that.
No,
you're like,
I never do that now. I'm like, oh my goodness, I was a brave little kid.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
But
wow.
singing since I was a little girl. You know, I lived a typical life, you know, obviously went to high school and I was very involved in athletics.
Right.
Didn't pursue music till probably the middle of my junior year of high school. I had a
Wow.
serious knee injury that kind of ruined my volleyball career
Oh
and
no.
found the path of music. So I'd always loved being a singer and performing and stuff, but I never thought I could do it as a job until that incident happened, which was, you know, at the time I was like, why is this happening? Because I was going to go to college on scholarship stuff. And I was like, oh, this is a blessing in disguise.
They usually are. Sometimes
Yeah.
they are. Just like I know that we talked about a lot. We've talked about how COVID was such a horrible thing, but a lot of good did come out of it because a lot of people found or developed their passion.
Yeah.
So
Voice.
yeah, absolutely. Paul, did you want to ask Taylor any questions? I know you, poor guy. Paul never gets to say a word because I talk so much.
That's fine. I'm just listening.
Ask me the hard-hitting question.
Huh?
Said, ask me the hard-hitting question.
I know. I was waiting. No, Paul is just, I can't believe Paul had a guitar in his hand. You know that song, A Guitar in My Hand? That is like, Paul, what? And Paul's already writing his second song. I'm like blown away by that. I think it's so amazing. I really do. I'm so proud of you, Paul. And he's such a great
And I actually got a
author.
melody to it today too. I was driving home from work, 2-hour drives, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I got the melody for that song finally. So I'm working it in.
Look at you. And he
And
was
I'm actually
telling me
going to be playing guitar.
Yeah, and I think he said I'm going to be playing it in the key of, and I thought, what? How do you know that? I don't even know that, Paul.
It's funny. My dad came over last night. I pulled out the guitar and because my dad used to fiddle with a guitar, and it was funny because I pulled the guitar out and I'm like, hey, look at the guitar I bought. I'm like, ooh, I'm like a little kid again. I'm like, look, Dad. I did.
Man. Paul, I'm so proud of you. That is so cool. Guitar.
And so I pulled it out. I said, look, Dad, look at me. Look what I can do. And I'm sitting there and I didn't say it like that, but
I bet you wanted to.
And I'm sitting there playing it, and he goes, oh my, how long have you been playing? I said, 3 weeks. And he goes, yeah, you play better than I do. I'm like,
yeah, I know, y'all. That's what, and Brett told me that. Brett said, watch, Paul is going to end up being better than you. And he's going to make better songs. And I was like, probably, because I know how analytical Paul is. He's very analytical, and he gets it down, bam, bam, bam. And he does it right, Paul. And then you move on to something else. Hopefully you stick with this.
Now, I was going to ask Taylor.
Heather.
Yeah, Taylor, just a question. Like, a lot of your friends, since you're from a small town, did you have a harder time like meeting a group of people who are around your age? I mean, does that help to reach out with other songwriters? And do you kind of click? Do you kind of like writers? We kind of click up with other writers. I mean, do you find yourself kind of like wanting to do things more by yourself and as solitary, or do you reach out to other people who are your age and starting out? I mean,
so it was kind of different before I moved here. When I was in Lexington, none of my friends are musically inclined, so I was
that was harder to reach out, right?
So like the random person, but I started working at a music store, and that's how I met my really good friend Aaron, who actually became my guitarist for probably 4 years. Him and I played shows constantly. Him and I would travel together all the time, and we did 4 shows a week together. And I've got a lot of crazy stories with him. But
I bet.
Yeah, when I was in Lexington, most of the stuff I did was on my own. Because
now that you're in Tennessee and you're in Nashville, so are you getting more clicks and more people who are like, hey, me too? And that actually is a strength. That actually is something that helps you and builds you, correct? Is this something?
That's what, a big thing about moving to Nashville is it's such a big songwriting community.
Would you recommend that for other people, or are you just saying you just got lucky?
Definitely, like, if this is truly something you want to do, I think Nashville is definitely one of the best places to be, especially for songwriting. Now, for me, like, I'm an artist, but I want to be an artist that writes my own music.
Yeah.
So for me, it works really well because a lot of my friends, pretty much all of my friends that I've made down here, are all artists, songwriters or they're doing both. So we're able to feed off each other, learn from each other. It's a really good support system. Whereas, you know, back home, obviously you have your support from your friends, your family, and your fans and stuff like that, but they don't.
You need your circle of
understand.
people, to keep it almost like it catapults you into another working harder, and you're like, oh my gosh, so you get that fresh energy coming.
I bet.
Okay. Listen up. So, like yesterday, I'm talking to Heather and going, hey, you know, you're going to be doing this podcast. It'll be fine. And she said, oh, I'm going to be so nervous. I'm just, and she said,
look
hey,
at her.
you know,
And look at her.
It made me feel a little bit better if you'd be on the podcast. Like, we don't even need to be here. You know, I'm thinking about, you know, I never drink while the podcast is going, but I'm thinking about going to have a beer.
It sounds pretty relaxing. So, Jerry, speaking of that, Jerry, do you have any questions you'd like to ask Taylor?
No, I mean, I'm just interested. I'm watching Heather go with this.
So cool.
She's got the hard hitting.
I'm very interested. I think songwriting is such a gift.
Yeah.
You know, I think some songs I'm singing along to, I'm not gonna lie, and you guys know this, you're singing along and you're like, if I really broke down these words, this is stupid. But you're like, what does that have to do with that? But I'm gonna go with it. So who's the other person in the room going, add that?
I have done that so many times where I'm like,
I sing it. And then the writer in me is like, that doesn't, what are snails?
You know what? And that right there is a perfect example of why when that song that Carolyn was talking about that I wrote, that actually Sean Christopher recorded, he actually did the music to it, and him and his wife took it apart. When I first wrote that song and sent it to him, it was 380 words long. I wrote a short story.
It was a short
because I'm a writer.
I turned it into a prose poem. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm a writer. I'm an author. You know, I write novels. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And then for me to go from that to songwriting,
that's amazing.
I have to summarize, and summarization for me is like,
hi, Anthony. Good to see you.
Yeah, no, it's very hard.
Wow.
So you don't mind as a writer. So you're like, okay, I'm going to sing about it. She's in the kitchen, baking bread, rattlesnakes, and you're just like,
why do you have to give me an idea for a song like that now? Like, now I want to write about a rattlesnake while you're in the kitchen making bread. And I saved her from the rattlesnake.
Taylor, quick, pull out your hook book and write it down. Okay?
I know. It's called Rattlesnakes in the Kitchen.
And you're like, hey,
yes.
Rattlesnakes in the kitchen.
It's gonna happen.
Hey, you never know.
I think I was grabbing my eggs. I ended up grabbing the snake's head, and it started rattling.
Makes sense. And if you threw something from outer space on that, you'd be like, "No, I'm not the outer space girl."
I think an alien left a rattlesnake in my bread.
Yeah, no, that would have to be pop. It couldn't be country.
Well,
country
we can make it poppy country.
Yeah,
right?
You know,
listen to me. Let's all get together.
Taylor does country. You know, she does a little. Yeah, I mean, that would be.
That's hilarious. You know, speaking of Taylor does country. Wow, your songs, Taylor. My God. So I classified you. I just gave you your own classification. I hope that's okay. I said you're red dirt country. Is that a good description?
I love that. You know,
that was cool.
Yeah, I think is that what you consider yourself? What do you consider yourself?
A lot of the times when people ask me, you know, what's your sound or who would you compare yourself to? It's kind of hard because my sound is so unique.
It is
to have a voice that doesn't sound like anybody else, but I always try to explain it, you know, if Chris Stapleton and Susan Tedeschi had a baby and they let Miranda Lambert raise it, is kind of my vibe, you know.
Interesting. I need to write that down and do a diagram.
Well, there's some people who like definitely describe their voice like saying like it sounds like glass, and you're like, that's it. It does. It sounds like glass.
Yeah.
Or it sounds like rocks.
Mine sounds that way too. If you take the GL off of it, you know.
If you take the what off of it?
GL off of it.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
why I'm a songwriter, not an artist.
Right. So, excuse me, I need to ask Paul, what is the status on Sean? Did you hear anything back? Because if he said anything, I didn't
No,
hear.
I haven't heard anything back from him.
Oh, poor
Looks like he
Sean.
fell off the
Sean
face of
is
the earth.
he's lost in the abyss of the podcast. I'm so sorry, Sean.
Let me see if I can call him.
Hey, go get a rope. What we do is we have this big rope. It's imaginary, and we throw it out and we bring them in like the wrong way and like this, and we pull them in here because sometimes they get lost in the abyss.
I'm
going to give him a call real fast.
Thank you, Paul. You're so awesome. Paul's so awesome. Now that Sean and him are co-writers. God, I never thought I'd say that. That's so awesome. So
I've even registered to the BMI.
What, Paul? You're with BMI? So which is better, BMI or ASCAP? They're both about the same, I think.
I think they're pretty much.
Hi, Kathleen.
Kind of depends on. I think ASCAP you have to be invited to be into it. I'm not.
Do you?
Old, but I don't know if that's.
I don't know. Therese, I know Therese, our friend Therese. She's with ASCAP, and then another person I know is with BMI. So I don't know what the difference. Both of them kind of offer similarities. I didn't know you had to be invited.
Both very similar. I've just always been BMI.
Who is that said that? Who is
Jerry? Don't look at it.
Don't look at it, Jerry. Don't look.
I can't.
I can't block it from the side. Paul. Paul Hughes, that is. That is so funny. Y'all are funny, man. So I'm sorry. It was unexpected. Go ahead.
Oh, he left off an asterisk because it was supposed to be SWEET.
Oh, wow.
That's what it was. That's so funny.
He didn't answer his phone.
Okay.
Hey,
thank you.
I would like to ask Taylor a question real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I see that you're working with that you were working with the Folds of Honor. Is that something you're staying? It looked like you were sponsoring and going to be staying with them with the I don't know, the Bourbon Bash, maybe. I don't know. Help me out there. What are you doing with the Folds of Honor?
Folds of Honor, you obviously know what it is. For those of you who don't know what it is, Folds of Honor is an organization or a charity that raises money to give educational scholarships to veterans who have passed away or just they're no longer active. They give educational sponsorships to their spouses, their children, and things like that. And I just recently discovered them through friends of mine who run Bourbon with Friends podcast, which is a huge bourbon podcast. They started during COVID and they've just grown and they're super huge now. And they came across my music and they used Praying to the Whiskey for some of their stuff, and that's how we got connected. And
nice.
I'm friends with them, and last year they were telling me they wanted to throw a bourbon ball, and I was like, wow, I'm in. Like Kentucky bourbon, and then when they added the Folds of Honor, they were like, this is what we're going to be benefiting. I was like, fantastic. I am a huge military supporter.
Right.
And isn't it funny that even though you may not have known that much about it, as soon as you became a part of it, it made that much more sense.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And, they're doing amazing things. And this year, a goal for me was to really get involved and just help out more with the organization. So I'm actually going to be doing some volunteer work with them later.
Wow.
The bourbon ball that we just had in Kentucky over the weekend was at the castle, and it was a huge, huge success. I think they raised almost $30,000.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, this is the first year they've ever done it, and it was just an honor to be asked to play at the event, and it was really cool.
I want to go.
You got to come next year. It'll be great. And
so it's in Kentucky. Where did you say it is? I'm sorry. Oh wow, it's a little far for me. I'm sorry, but how far are you from Kentucky?
I'll drive there.
I'm bad with geography.
I'm going to Kentucky. I'm going to be going to Kentucky in July, but
how far is it? I don't have any idea.
For me, it's
about just under 4 hours.
No, that's not bad. Paul, let's go. Oh, it's not 4 hours for us.
No, it's not 12 hours from us.
I was like, Paul, so we've been talking about getting a bus. It's a joke, but I see it, right? We're going to go get a bus and pick up all of these great guests that have been on the show. And we're just going to go somewhere and have a big concert.
A Partridge Family bus?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like with a peace sign on it. No, just kidding. Wow. So that is really cool.
I don't know if you know it, but both Paul and I are veterans. In fact, I did 30 years in the military, and I'm very proud of you for doing the Folds of Honor. And
Yes.
Thank you for your service. I mean, I honestly, when I found out about Folds of Honor, I kind of jumped on the opportunity to try to get involved and help, because I don't think our military gets enough recognition.
Amen.
These men and women put their lives on the line for us, and I just, they're not paid real well. I feel like we only recognize them on like holidays and stuff. And I have family that was in the military. My Paul and my Oma were in the military. I think that's actually
And when you hold events like that, it lets families come together and know that everybody has got
that support system.
It's just a nice way, because a lot of the military families can't afford a lot of things to go to. Their pay is very little. So when you guys hold something like this, it's amazing to me that a family who would have 4 kids, maybe $10 will put $5 in a pot for that cause.
It's such an incredible.
That is amazing. Yeah.
They have guest speakers and stuff talking about their experience. Even just like being out during like cocktail hour, you could go and talk to each other and hear their stories. And we were at dinner and they had a special speaker, and she was talking about how she had lost her husband. They were both in the military, and now she's a veteran.
Wow.
But it was just such an incredible story. And I'm not an emotional person. Like, tears are not my thing. And like, I was sitting at dinner and I was like tearing up, and I was like, don't look at me.
Yeah. It becomes real. I think for a lot of people, that's they need that. They see that realness.
Right. That's how we feel. I mean, it's not nearly any comparison, but we go to the Ring Car Ball. We've been going the last few years, and just that experience, right? Paul went with us this year. All of us went together. To me, it's just really cool to see everyone getting, recognized and any type of way that you can support and encourage and recognize our veterans. I'm all with you on that. Jerry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, and where did Heather and I possibly come across each other and meet the first time and become friends? And
Air Force.
Heather, no, it was at the Veterans Writing Collective.
Army.
Nice.
Oh, you're Army. I'm Army.
We met in a Veterans Writing Collective, which Heather said the other night. Oh, we can't say that on the air. Heck yeah, we can.
Of course we can. I'm like you, Taylor. We love to support our veterans in any way we can. Go ahead, Jerry.
But I was one of the co-founding members of the group, but it was, Heather came along and quickly went, I can do better than this.
Yeah.
My wife says that all the time about things.
I love it. So you know what?
Heather's one of those people that if she sees something, she's going to love it. This is cool, but I think we can do this better.
Yeah. I already see that, and I'm like, wow, because I think that's great.
Gary. That was nice.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Jerry. She steps right in and says,
we're about a half hour into the show, and I'm thinking it's about time for us to hear some of that red.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Thank you. And that's what I classified it as, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know if you're okay with that, Taylor. You said it was okay because it is a different sound, and I don't know how else to say it. I just really like you. Really, really. I was like, because when I first heard your songs, I have my notebook and I have tabs, and I took your page that I made for you, because I made you a little page like this. And I put in the very corner months ago, you can't see it, but it's highlight, and it says artist. Under it says good, and it's highlighted yellow. It's got an exclamation mark. So I put you in the professional.
I can't believe you said that. Now everybody's going to be like, so show me that piece of paper, and you're going to be like,
well, I don't write it on everyone. This was in the beginning. See, I can cover for that because this was in the beginning, and I was doing all that extra stuff, like writing extra words. I don't have time for writing extra words now. See, I got it. I got an answer for it, Heather. I'm right there with you, honey. I got you. So the first song that we are going to play from the amazing Miss Taylor Hughes, and gosh, I'm excited because I have not listened to any of these songs all the way through. I always do that. I listen to part of them because I'm like, I am always like, I want to be just as surprised as our viewers are. And I want to hear it for the first time in length, in full, because I know it's going to So great. And I want to be surprised. So our first song, not our first song that we wrote, Taylor. No, I'm just kidding. Our first song that we're going to play that Miss Taylor wrote is Good Taste, right? Tell us a little bit about that song before we play it, Miss Taylor. And we are going to play the video, which is, by the way, great. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Good Taste was written with a friend of mine, Stephanie Joyce. I wasn't actually gonna release it as my first single, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I took it to a radio station, and they were listening to everything I was thinking about releasing, and they were like, "Oh, you got to release this first." Like, it's kind of in your face and it's rocking, but it's still a little bit of that classic country, but it's basically paying, tribute to the classics like Johnny Cash and Waylon and Earl, and kind of talking about, in the past where I might have dated a bad boy or two, how you just got to do it. Like sometimes you date the bad boy, even if,
even back in my day, that was true.
You all have to get through that phase. And that's kind of what this is about,
Bad boys and clowns, right?
Yes, and clowns. It's a whole story. We'll talk about it later if we have time. So let us get to the song. I'm so excited. Yes, I dated a clown. I know Jerry's got such a good memory. It was a great story, though. My life wouldn't have ended up the way it was if I hadn't dated that guy for that few weeks. So this song is, you ready for this? Good Taste.
That sounds like a song
by Miss Taylor. Yeah, I know. I should write a song. Paul, don't be taking my hook. That's my hook with the clown, man.
I dated a clown.
And he had a big red nose. His shoes were size 22.
And he always frowned.
And he could get down.
And he wore some baggy clothes.
Okay, people are really going to... Okay. We are really going to love Taylor's song now after that.
Exactly. I mean, this is what it shouldn't sound like, and this is what it is sound like. So this is Taylor's first song that we're playing, Good Taste. Okay, here we go. And we are all going to mute our mics. Here we go.
The kind I don't take back to mama. I like 'em rough around the edges, whiskey soaked. That good midnight tenor that soothes my soul. I'm bruised up in good time, I know it don't last, but I fall for the kind of guy that makes me raise my glass. Blame my heartache in the morning on the Waylon and the Jones. Blame the way they leave me hanging on that Copperhead Road. I'm a good-hearted woman, loves a good time, and God blame the way I forgive them all that walk the line. Well, it's a broken record played again and again. I blame my good taste in music for my bad taste in men. bad taste in men.
Okay,
I liked it so much.
Before anybody says anything,
Ah,
before
God,
anybody
I know.
says anything, ready? You ready for this?
I'm ready because I already know. Go ahead.
If Pat Benatar could sing country,
Okay.
I'm thinking of Pat Benatar. Hit me with your best. Oh, that was great, by the way. Gosh, I know, Paul.
Who are the singers with the mom and the two daughters? The Judds.
The
I
Judds.
had more of a Judd feeling.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't know because it's. I didn't get judged. Judge.
Right,
You
in
know
the
what? It's her, but I like it. I really like that.
love it. Man,
And
you're.
it makes sense.
Yes, those
Beautiful
lyrics.
song. Fun,
Those lyrics
fun
are
song.
really, really good. Man, I love it, love it, love it. I mean, love it. I love it. Did I say I love it?
girlfriend,
Folks,
I
what
got
do
a
you
bad
think?
taste of man.
Yeah, I do. I think it's so cool, so catchy. Let's see. Oh, Jerry. Hi, everyone. It's good to see you. What's up, Chuck? Hey, is there somebody named Chuck on here, or was that just a saying, Jerry? I like that. Hi. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, comment, share, and please, when you share some love for the amazing Miss Taylor Hughes. Oh, my
Jerry, your
gosh.
mic's off.
That was fun.
Yes. Jerry, Mike, wahoo. Oh,
Your mic's off, Jerry.
your mic's off, Jerry. Oh, he can't hear. Oh,
I'm
he can
sorry.
hear.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No, while we were playing the video, I jumped over to check my Facebook. It is blowing up.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Oh, my
It
gosh.
has Pam was over there, and she's just dumping hearts and stuff over there. Chuck Frith, he kind of said, "What's up, kid JB?" As in, Chuck Frith was in the very first the Night Riders that I played with when I was 17 years old in the bar. He and I both were underage playing in the bars at that time. Drinking our butt off.
Yeah, of course. That's what you do when you're 17 and you're not supposed to be drinking.
Yeah. Where do you find that song? Where do you find that
Thank
song?
you. Yes.
Where can I get that song?
I love it, don't you? Oh my gosh. Y'all are going to want to download it. Yeah, tell them where they can get that song, Taylor.
Yeah, you can get it on any streaming or download platform. So Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, Google, Amazon, literally everything. You can find all my music that I've released so far.
So if anybody heard that and liked that, they need to download that immediately.
Right. Let me put this up.
What's cool about this song is that when we released it, I wasn't sure, I wanted it to be fun and a good representation of the kind of writer and artist I am, a little more edgy.
Yes.
And it got played on iHeartRadio quite a few times.
Wow.
It took for a studio when I premiered it, and it took Cole Swindell's spot for a few days, which was pretty cool. I don't know if you know who Cole Swindell is, so I'm always like, that's so cool.
That's pretty cool, Taylor. That is really cool.
Cool.
I put your name up here because it's easier if they just type in your name. You know what I mean? And they can go to you could go to is it on YouTube too? YouTube too. Yeah. YouTube, Spotify, everything. There's so many. There's so many. Oh my God, I love that song. I really love that song. And your sound, your feel, it just makes me want to dance. And believe me, I'm not a dancer. I'm a chair dancer.
So you wrote that song?
Yes.
By yourself? I mean, was that all yours?
It was a co-write. I wrote it with a friend of mine. Her name is Stephanie Joyce. She's a very talented songwriter here in town.
Yes, she is.
She's one of the first people I met when I moved here, and her and I have written a ton of stuff together.
No, that's great.
Have you written any more stuff with Stephanie yet? I'm
sorry?
Have you written any more stuff with Stephanie?
I haven't seen her recently, but we've written a lot of stuff. My third single that Carolyn's going to play here later was actually a co-write with her, High on Something.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Your songs are, man, they are what I love is that they're current. I mean, that is what's hot on the radio. To me, that is what's hot. I mean, I'm starting to use that term, by the way. Hot. That is hot.
I don't know a lot of questions because I'm not a book writer. This is new.
Yes,
to me
it's so interesting, isn't it? Interesting, and we're all learning. We're all learning so much, especially when we have someone of your caliber, and I really do mean that. If you're not already touring in big, huge, I don't even know. I picture you. I honestly do. I picture you the next Taylor Swift. I do.
I hope so.
Sandy Scarborough. You remember Sandy, Heather? She said, you have an extraordinary voice, reminds me of Melissa Etheridge.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
so cool.
A lot of the times I get song requests, like people ask me to do Jewel. They're like, there's something about you that reminds you of Jewel.
Maybe
like,
so, yeah. So do you sing Jewel when they ask you?
No, I need to learn some of her stuff.
Just do the one that was very pop. What was the one? I can't remember now. 6 o'clock. You know that one.
You know, they all have something in common. They're great singers.
Yes, they are. They are. That is the way I just did that is not how it sounds. Oh my gosh, I love that song. So I'm excited to get to your second song. I really am, because like I said, I did not listen to all of these through all the way through, and I like that. I try to do that. The main thing I'm monitoring for is quality, and I try to make sure I'm praying that no one would ever send a song on here that has inappropriate language. Not that we're saints, but I try to keep it as clean as we can. So let's play another song. Are y'all ready, guys and gals?
I'm ready.
Paul, are you ready?
Go for it.
Go. And I'm sorry, Sean is lost somewhere. He's lost somewhere in the podcast world. I feel so bad.
Sean
yes.
is he's busy right now.
Oh, not again, Jerry. If you do that to me again, I mean Jerry, Paul. I know what Paul's
what
up
I
to.
do.
No, I already know you now, mister.
I'm not up to anything.
See, he's like 20 miles from me, and I already know him. I already know you're up to something.
10 miles from you, and no, I'm not up to anything. I swear.
Well, I love surprises, though. Last time he surprised me last week. He surprised me. Sean came on the show. For those of you who didn't see it, and if you didn't, where were you? Why didn't you? No, I'm just kidding. And he played the first song ever written by Paul and him together. And he played it, and I thought that was so cool. Let's see. Replying to Paul Hughes. Paul Hughes, her usual shenanigan self. Oh, charming, yeah. Wait a minute. Am I missing
charming
something?
Ass self.
Charming
ass self.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Hey, let's hear the song. I want
to. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I thought that was shenanigans. All right. Charnanigans. Thank you, Paul, for that new word. I needed Paul Hughes. Thank you. I'm going to add that to my list. All right. So the next song, it's all together. It messed my brain up. The next song we're going to play from Miss Taylor is called High on Something. What a great title. And boy, I did listen to most of this. Not all of it. Oh, I like it so much. I like it a lot. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Remember to mute your mics, panelists. Oh, I feel like we're on the voice. Here we go. It is Taylor Hughes' song, High on Something.
Like a rush of blood to your head with the first hit of nicotine. Like an 88 Chevy burning up a tank of gasoline. Like a quick fix from a fifth when you tip it on back. A type of buzz that comes and goes, it don't ever last. But with you, I ain't coming down. No crash and burn. Ain't looking for an easy way out. And it ain't a drunk, it ain't a drug. Whatever it is, it's more than enough. And I don't know much, but I know one thing. You got me high on something. Like the worn-in leather on an old pair of boots. Like the lazy stretch of a long June afternoon. Like a 10-year bottle of bourbon takes time. Worth it. Slow to build the fire, high on something. You got me high on something. Ooh, you got me high on something.
What?
That is beautiful.
What?
What was that?
Yeah. Somebody said she should be doing arenas.
That's the goal.
Another person says you have the whole package.
Well, thank you.
Thank you,
Carolyn.
Paul. Thank you, Paul. I got it.
That
Sorry.
the whole package.
I was saying wow, 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 wow. Oh, you
And
can't tell what I was saying because my mic was.
Yeah,
looked like
I'm
I was-
trying to
Whoa,
figure
whoa,
out
whoa.
exactly what was going on here.
Yeah, from the
Why
very
are
beginning
you-
of that song, that very first line. Tell me what that first line is about the nicotine. Tell me again. I didn't write it down, but I love the way it sounded. Go ahead. I want to hear
Like,
exactly.
Oh, you have bugs.
Like a rush of blood to your head with the first hit of nicotine.
Girl, that is like so good. I'm sorry to call you girl. That is so good. That line is so good. Hey, Jason, how's your hand, baby?
That's like
Oh my
that
God.
nice cowboy, like you're gonna be dancing on a dance
Oh
floor
my
with your
God, back in-
cowboy.
That is so good. I don't even, that's even, and I didn't even give you a chance to even tell us about the song very much. So what about this song did you want to tell us now that we've heard it? I got so excited.
This is my most recent release. I released it back in November. I think it was November 19th is when I released it. This was kind of a scary release for me, honestly, because a lot of my fans and people that have seen me play live and even just people who have written with me, they know like love songs are not my thing. I don't write them. I'll cover like good love songs that I like, but
Right.
you know, my style is very sassy and almost dark. And we
I
always joke,
love it.
if you want someone to die in your song, like go listen to Taylor's music. Like it's always like the murder ballads kind
We
of
were
thing.
talking, yes, go ahead. They talked about Taylor Swift comparatively. They said that's what Taylor does. She goes to different relationships just so she can have something to write about.
They had it coming. They had it coming.
Yeah, I know.
They
Wow.
did.
I want to show you, in case you don't see this, what our dear friend and amazing, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing, Anthony Prezio wrote. He is in New York. He has been writing songs forever. He plays the piano. I mean, he's just incredible. I'm telling you. Did you see what he wrote? He wrote, you have the whole package. Bravo. Thumbs up, piano, and what's that other thing? A little music sign. It's so little I can't see it.
2 thumbs up.
Thank you,
and
Anthony. Gosh, thank you, Anthony. I completely agree with you. And who is this that said, I like putting some of the comments up here. Oh, that's my husband. That's weird. He's in their living room watching on the big screen. He said she should be doing arenas. Are you doing arenas? Are you playing arenas? Thank you.
I wish I was. That's the goal. You know, when I tell people what style of music I do, I was actually talking to someone the other day. You know, there's wallpaper music and there's coffee shop. I'm like, no, I'm an arena artist. Like
You are.
my biggest idol is, you know, Miranda Lambert, and to be in these sold out arenas and stadiums,
Gosh.
my dream to do that. So
So Laura Elena, we got to see her inducted.
You keep doing what you're doing, it's going to come true.
Yeah, it's got to. What happened to your mic, Paul? You're awfully loud all of a sudden. That's good. And I don't know what happened. Is it me?
I'm loud.
Yeah,
You're really, or is it mine? Oh, it is. It is not me. It is not me.
it is not you.
That was funny. Sorry, it is not me. Okay, good. Let's make it sure, because it usually is me. Go ahead, Taylor.
Now Paul's just messing with us. Go ahead. No, Taylor, let's get together and write a patriotic song. Let me get that in there before you go away.
He's got to add that. Yeah.
I was actually writing one the other day with a friend of mine, but like I'd love to write more of them. Just because, you know, it's something that's very dear to my heart. So like I'm down. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, really. Paul, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be mean. It was just really loud. Should I say something?
I'm just kidding.
Perfect.
Paul is so funny.
Got it.
I love you, Paul. God, I don't want to ever make you mad. And oh my God. Jeez, you're so funny. He does this
But
stuff
you
to me
have, you
all
have
the
a
time.
you have a big influence with rock and blues in your country. I see that. So I don't know if I'd go Red Dirt. That last one's definitely not Red Dirt.
I don't know what you
No,
call it. It's just so good.
That's like
yeah.
contemporary. That's what all the new female artists are singing is.
Yeah, but
is
what is
songs
it
like
called? It is no classification yet. It is called good country songs that need to be heard by everyone.
I don't think things get classified until they get played, and then they classify it.
Well,
you know? Nobody goes in and writes a song and plays it. They're like, I'm just going to write this.
Well, guess what? They're going to be played now. I guarantee if I have anything to do with it.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, you're so good. And I know they're being played. How many are your songs being played on the radio all over yet? All over Texas, all over Kentucky, all over the world?
They're huge over in the UK and stuff, which is really cool. High on Something has actually been charting on the Texas internet radio charts since I released it, which is really cool. It's been in the top 100. It's still there. It moves all over the place, but the fact that I've remained in it has been super cool because I had no idea people down there knew who I was. And
wow.
That is cool when you're like,
so are you actively receiving like royalties for these songs that you're doing since you're on those playlists?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how that works. I was just curious.
But
yeah, I have a question pertaining
to
this.
I'm a writer. I don't get
it's her manager gets that.
We don't get money out.
Yes. Well, I do have a question. Are you, and this is very, you may not even know about this. I'm sure you do, because it's not like I know anything more than anyone else. But do you use the BMI Live feature? So when you play, this is so cool. This is what I understood. I'm not sure if I'm right. So as the songwriter, if you're playing your songs live, you can go then and log them in and say, hey, I played my song live. And this is so cool. And then they will give you the royalties for playing your own song live.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Isn't that cool? And I know it's not a lot, but it can add up if you get enough.
Like occasionally I'll get like a little check in my bank account randomly. And I'm like, oh, I'm like $20 return.
Yes.
Well,
yes, that's
cool.
That's what Anthony told us too, because he's got so many songs. He said, I got a check for $19 and so he said, here's Therese.
Wow.
Yes.
Therese.
Wow. Do you know who
Really?
Therese is? Do you know Therese Taylor?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you need to know Therese. I'm telling you. She is Red Dirt Country. She just crossed over into Red Dirt Country. She just had her first released on the 21st, and she is phenomenal.
Well,
and I'm telling you.
Send me a DM.
Yes.
Therese just popped on and said, tell her I'll write with her and open for her.
Yes.
Therese and I have a going competition of, people we're working with. And like, I'll go, hey, this is a really good person. Then she'll snatch them.
Yeah. Well, Therese, manager got dollars yet? Wait, your dad said
$0.
Yet. I swear I can't see tonight.
I have to ask a question, Taylor, because your dad's your manager, or kind of what you said. And I saw the cover for the song that you just did, and he was okay with that.
There is Jerry, the dad.
That's the dad coming out of me.
I think it looks beautiful. I think
I
it
love
looks
it.
beautiful.
Just wait till we play my third song.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh. Jerry, you may want to close your eyes.
So do you have like a full-time job, or you do this
gosh.
like all the time?
But I do full time. I'm on the road every weekend, or I'm here in town playing. I did work at Starbucks for like 3 years part time while I was trying to get some and stuff, and I finally left last September because I was getting so busy. And we've been down in Florida this year, and we're trying to go back in October. We're doing like a Rhode Island tour. Obviously, I play all over Kentucky because that's the home state.
Yeah, she lives in Kentucky.
And Tennessee.
No, you live in Tennessee now.
I live in Tennessee.
Tennessee, that's right.
But
well, guess what? Therese is in Therese is in Arkansas, and she's been to Tennessee a lot. She used to play in Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm over here putting in.
Yeah, you see Therese.
Because I love Therese.
If it comes down to wanting to do a co-write with Jerry or Therese, I'd hate to say it, but it would always be Therese.
Yeah.
It's
no offense to you, Jerry, but she is just
I'm gonna tell you. With that being said, let me tell you.
Dollar matchmaking. Let me say, yeah, it's true. We are matchmaking.
Therese just took one of my songs that
Heaven.
I was ready to throw away. Like, and I have had this. I can't do. It's not working. and Charisse gave me a what do you call it? Anyway, she gave me a name, Little Jer. That's my disco name or something. I don't know. But she took that song and
wasn't what I was picturing, but good.
Yes.
She changed a few lyrics, changed the melody, and oh my gosh, it is.
Jerry, let me hear
amazing.
it.
That's a rapper name.
Oh my God,
Rapper
it is
name,
so
yeah.
good. I'm not even kidding, Taylor and Heather. It was so good. It made me. I was like, Charisse says that, and we're here to talk about y'all, but I got to tell you, Charisse, when she sings, she hits the first note and you get goosebumps. And I'm not even kidding. She's incredible. And she's helped me with one of my songs too. And I cannot wait for everybody to hear it. I'm so excited. Gosh.
There's just something interesting when you put people together to write,
Yes.
and you get, and you know, when she's seeing your vocals, and she's probably thinking, oh my God, there's so much possibilities with, you know, writing, sitting down and writing. And you do learn by cooperating with each other of like, oh, I never thought about that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So reaching out and just meeting other people is an amazing thing.
Co-writing.
Wow, that is so good.
Work ideas out, because a lot of the times you are able to see different points of views on a subject that you probably wouldn't even thought about if you didn't have that other person in the room with you.
Yeah, it's true. And I've only co-written like once actually, and with Charisse, which is amazing. Yeah. And she made it the most amazing experience because now I'm like hungry for it. I want to do it more because it helps motivate you. I think it helps you get going. Oh, that's a good idea. You know, it's somebody to bounce the What a great idea. I just love it. I think and I can see why so many people are doing it. So now I'm like, okay, I need to sit down and start writing more, but I haven't had a chance. Yeah. So, Charisse, reach out to her for real. That would be so cool. Yeah. So that is little, no.
That is true. Even like when people are like writing books, they'll even say like they put their first book out and their second, whatever. If you're busy touring and you're doing things like that, you're like, I don't even have time to sit down and really think about this.
Right.
Because you're worried. They say no matter what you do, even when you're touring or just keep writing, just keep going, and don't try and compare it with the last thing. Keep doing with the new thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And just so you know, in case you ever want an expert's opinion or any help with your lyrics, and I'm over here pitching Charisse because I can't help it. She does a pitch ready listening sessions on Facebook, and it is phenomenal. She sets and does Zoom calls.
We are meeting this Sunday.
Sunday. And it's very interesting, very helpful. People bring their songs. I'm sorry.
Where is she, in Arkansas?
She's in Arkansas, but it's through Zoom.
We'll do a road trip. We'll go play some shows in Arkansas.
Oh, yeah, y'all would make the perfect combination. You really would. Honestly,
she should be happy because she hates to drive.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate driving.
So tell your dad, Paul. Paul, you're going to be going to Arkansas. I know. Teresa said, yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited at the opportunity, at the opportunity of hearing y'all together, because y'all are both so good. Like, oh my God. I'm like the little kid at Home Alone. Oh my God. So you have another song. So I want to get to that. Tell us about it's not your last song. How many other songs do you have? I know you got more than 3 songs.
These are the 3 singles I have like out released right now. But
okay.
I have a book full or a computer full, tablet full of songs. And I also have just like
Miss Daisy.
Your dad is hilarious.
My dad and
I want to meet him. We're gonna come to Kentucky.
He's amazing. There's only maybe like a very small handful of shows my dad has missed since I started my career.
Awesome.
I honestly could not do this without him. So and he doesn't make me pay him, so it's great.
Wow. And you know what? I know, right? The biggest thing is I cannot even fathom how proud he is of you. I mean, because it is everybody that comes on here to me. I told you when we did our little test that once you come on the show, you're like family. And that's honestly how I feel. And I feel so proud of you, Taylor, like you're my own daughter. And I'm like, go, Taylor. I really mean that. And I'm going to do my little part, whatever that may be, because you're amazing, girl. I just call you girl when I'm getting into it. Girl, you're hot. Okay, what is that? I use that term too. So tell us more about the song. Anything else you want to say about it?
Yeah, so this next song is called Praying to the Whiskey. Ready for this? So I actually I wrote this song with my dad. And Him and I actually write a ton of stuff together. I have a lot of material that I want to release that I've written with my dad. But this was one of the first songs I wrote when I first moved to Nashville about almost 5 years ago now. And it was kind of like my signature song. Everyone knew it around town, and they were like, when are you going to release this song? And I was like, eventually. So when we were in the studio, we had recorded all 3 of these songs in the studio at once, but this one took the longest because I was so like, okay, not only is this my signature song, but like I wrote this with my dad and I want him to love it. So like I made them change a billion different things until we found the right thing and the right feel for it. I think I used like 4 or 5 different guitarists until I found the right one that was like, that truly understood like the vibe I was going for. But this song it's Praying to the Whiskey. I'm from Kentucky. I have a song. Is that a cat?
It's a baby kitty.
Oh, hello, little kitty. Sorry, got you.
Kitty. I know, me too. I'm like, oh.
So the song is kind of, we came up with the idea for this. We were sitting there talking about, tailgating, because we love tailgating. It's a big thing for us. And my family's Catholic. I was born and raised in the church, and but I have a little bit of a wild side because my daddy. And we were talking about just like our college days and tailgating and like, dealing with, everyone kind of deals with that, the angel and the devil on their shoulder, and trying to figure out like which one do you listen to. And for the song, it was basically like, okay, well, tonight we're listening to the devil and we're gonna have a little bit of fun, kind of thing. And he started spitting out these lyrics, and I just kind of came up with a melody because I'm very melody driven. That tends to be my strong suit. And my dad is great lyrically. He cannot sing a tune, like he cannot hold a tune in a bucket. But
he came up with a majority of these lyrics.
He we wrote it together.
Right, I understand, but I'm just saying, wow, that's so cool that it's your dad. Well, you go, Paul.
Fantastic writer, and he kind of came up with the whole idea to begin with, and he just started spitting out lines, and I was like, yes. And so we released it last February, so February 2021, and it was nominated for International Song of the Year over in Ireland and made the top 10, which was really cool on some of their radio stations.
Wow.
And who would have thought the Irish like
How does that get over there to Ireland? How does that?
Through the airwaves.
Yeah. Well, honestly,
I don't understand it either.
Wow.
And we had a lot of us artists had to do the live streaming. When I was sitting at home, like I was like, I have to promote my music. I have to still try to grow my fan base. I did a ton of live streams on Facebook, and they were constantly shared, and they ended up reaching over in the UK and Ireland and Australia, and I gained a huge following over there, and which is really cool. And now
TikTok is like the big one too. Are you on TikTok? Yeah, you are on TikTok, aren't you?
I'm on TikTok. I gave in. I'm still trying to figure it out. But like Instagram and Facebook are like, I'm so old school. Like
Instagram, I need to start going to Instagram. I'm really wanting to go to TikTok and start putting our show on there.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, it's just one more place. I need to figure out, the restream unfortunately doesn't give me the option to live stream it because it's so much easier if I could just live stream it and not have to touch it, because if I touch it, I'm going to mess it up usually.
And TikTok is really hard to figure out.
Yeah, Paul is the TikTok expert in our group, I think. Jerry, do you do TikTok?
If you want to call me an expert, I'm still trying to figure it out myself, because I'm like, hey, I'm going to put something on TikTok and I get like 400 views and that's it.
Yeah.
400? Did you say 400? Paul.
It's about
Did you say 400 or
TikTok is about being human and not a brand.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. Hold on. I want to clarify what Paul just said. Did you say 400 and that's it?
Yes.
That's a lot of people.
Someone who doesn't know how to
me, it's a lot of people. 400.
I'm like, man, that's a lot, Paul.
Oh my God. I am not even close to Paul's caliber. I am not.
Hey, so Taylor, I got a line for Paul. I have a line for you that I use very often. It's I can carry a tune. I just can't carry it very far. So
that's a good line. And Paul is actually a really good singer. He can, man, I love it. I really love going to sing with Paul.
Your
It's so
dad
much
says
fun.
you're an absolute workhorse.
Oh, where'd it go?
I
Oh yeah,
am.
put it on there.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's how you get things done. That's how you're getting as much accomplished as you are. You got to keep going forward and forward and forward. And yeah, that's a lot of running. Wow.
Sacrifice sleep for the career.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. And
I know that feeling.
so you do 3-hour shows, you were saying before. So you do a lot, you play these 3 songs and then you have a lot of covers. Who's your favorite go-to cover artist that you cover?
Love Miranda Lambert stuff.
Man.
Stuff. But one of my most popular or most requested songs for covers is actually Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. It's kind of like,
love that song.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I do it a little bit differently.
Okay, so
I would love to hear that by you.
Yeah, Taylor, go ahead. Sing the first. We don't want to get. Please, no pressure. Just just
no pressure.
Go. No, I want to hear it. That is one of my favorite songs ever. I always get people to. Okay, no pressure. I mean, we didn't practice this.
I know.
No pressure.
Like it's me singing. We did not rehearse this, Heather. Poor Heather. Do you want to?
Like I got.
I'm going to be in the background.
I guess you don't get music. I'm sorry. You don't want to do it. I really wanted to hear it. I love.
I'm like, I'm put on the spot, and I'm like, what are the words?
I know.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. Me too.
Okay, it's getting late, so
Okay, I guess
we need to play her
your last song
because we actually need to ask Heather a question or two.
Yes, we do.
At some
I'm
point in
having
time.
fun asking her questions.
I know. I can tell Heather's having a good
And she's
time.
been taking notes and waiting for this role to reverse.
Me?
So
No.
Yeah. So
No,
this last
no,
one.
No,
Wait, did we do
I
this?
never take notes. You don't know me.
So
I
the last
always take
song.
notes.
The last
I always
song is
do.
"Praying to the Whiskey." Right.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Everybody, hold your breath and then let us eat breath. Don't suffocate. Whatever. Here we go. You're gonna love this. Hold on. Don't have a heart attack. Don't anybody get upset. Here we go. It's gonna be good. Here we go.
Jim, Jack, Johnny, and Crow, those 4 apostles, Jane in my soul. That's pretty rough company for a Catholic girl like me to keep. But they're alright by me. My mama would faint if she knew these things about her daughter, you see. But what can I say? God made me this way. Y'all better pray for me. One bread and the rosary just ain't enough for me. Baptize me in the brown water. Over ice don't get no hotter. Devil's cut, that ain't my father. I won't quit till I hit the bottom. Sunday morning I'll be on my knees, but tonight you can find me praying to the whiskey. Seen the man behind the bar. Well, he's my preacher. Till he yells, last call, I'm a sinner. But I don't mean no harm. I'll be confessing till the liquor's all gone. One bread in the road.
So I take.
I got click
I take it. I take it you like to drink.
That was cool. That was cool.
It's so cool. They're all so cool. I don't even
Like
know.
if I have whiskey, I think that that's the way I look when I'm drinking. Like I do. I mean, I felt sexy. Like I needed a whiskey, and I was like, I'm gonna
make you want
Jerry, did you feel sexy? Jerry,
Jerry's mic off
your mic
again.
is off.
Jerry, he's speechless. He don't even know what to say.
I know.
Your mic.
Jerry, you're.
He's just going on and on. And
Wait,
on.
Jerry, your mic's off.
I know. I muted my mic. I said when I drink whiskey, Heather looks very sexy.
That's what they all say.
Jerry, it left you speechless too. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Cool.
You know what,
cool
y'all, we need a drink to toast to that. Toast. Pretend drink. Toast. Toast with my used Church's chicken cup.
Water. I feel it's cheated.
I know, all I have is water.
I can't believe us. We didn't prepare for this moment.
It's a very expensive thing that holds water.
Holy water. Yep.
This is very expensive.
My gosh, Taylor, you are, and I honestly mean this. Ask anybody who knows me.
I like the apostles.
amazing.
I thought that was really cool.
Yes, I know.
Definitely not red dirt country.
So
I don't know what it is.
you said you're like, you were talking with your dad, and you're like,
Daniel.
yeah, that's it. The apostles.
I got the Kentucky bourbon. I got the whole mention of the names. My question: what's crow? What's crow?
What's a squirrel? What did you say?
Crow. It's a. I'm trying to think of old. I think it's Old Crow. Is what it's called.
Crow.
Talking about whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this like a Boone's Farm type on a whiskey end?
No, Heather. Boone's Farm is what we drank when we were kids.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Strawberry one. Did you do
wine? Is that like
Heather? Did you do the same thing? That's the first thing I ever drank was Boone's.
No,
I know you did.
No,
I just feel.
Well, what's funny is
we need a song called that. We drank some Boone's Farm when we were kids. Go ahead, Heather.
Old Crow whiskey. Okay. I've never heard of that before.
Yes.
Did you see Therese? She said, I'm going to get a glass of whiskey now.
I saw that. I was like, yes, girl, go get one.
Yes. Oh, my gosh.
She also said lyrics are fire.
Yes.
So,
yes.
wow.
Remember, okay, here, let me put it up here so everyone can see it. Remember Old Crow Medicine Show is that it was whiskey. I don't know. Hey, Mike.
I say I don't remember that, but yeah, now I gotta go get some Old Crow.
So is this
like
like a high-end whiskey, or is this like a?
Just go on.
We found it at 7-Eleven.
Moonshine. You know. Oh yeah, you don't want this. This is not. It's just Old Crow is not smooth at all. I mean, it's gonna burn.
Oh, it's that tough stuff. It's that real tough. It's the real stuff. So, Mike, what's up? Hey, you missed the songs if you just came on. So you need to rewind, but don't do it yet, okay? You are going to want to rewind and go back and watch this. I promise.
And then I know my brother. My brother. He is then going to have to go drink himself some whiskey.
So rewind, drink. Good. Rewind, drink. Look up Dr. Crow. Oh, isn't that a singer?
Will do.
God, all she needs is like a fighting song. I'm just
Boone's and the Thunderbird. Yes,
drinking.
Yes, Mike. Was your first drink Boone's Farm too? What is going on?
Boone's and Thunderbird.
Because it doesn't taste like liquor. You're like, this tastes.
I have
delicious.
a funny story about Boone's Farm.
What about Wild Irish Rose?
Boone's Farm was on the beaches of Okinawa, Japan.
Wow, that's cool. That is really cool.
Yeah.
Man,
Mad Dog 2020 has been the cause of many a fight.
Yes. No kidding, Jerry. Yes. And they still make that too, I think. But oh boy. Wow. I don't even drink whiskey, and I'm not even kidding. I want to go have me a whiskey and toast to Taylor and say, I'm praying to the whiskey. I've prayed to a beer bottle plenty of times. Please, Lord, please fix whatever this is I'm going through plenty of times in my life. Really, I have. So pray to the whiskey. Not much.
That's very cool.
That's when you're in really bad shape, when you're praying to the whiskey as opposed to the beer. It's even getting worse. It's not going down. It's going up.
That was going to be a rough night, right?
Yeah. And you've been going through some stuff if you're, So Boone's Farm is responsible for my wife marrying me. Nice, Paul. I never thought about using that as a, that's kind of, yeah. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Well, that's just cheap, Paul. I mean,
It is.
come
He
on,
was
man.
saving for the ring.
That's it. Is it?
Yes.
He was
No
saving for the
Boone's
ring.
Farm in my cabinet. Who is this? Let me see.
That's Sharice.
Oh, it's Sharice. No Boone's Farm in my. I couldn't see it. It was blocked by something. But I found the
12-year-old Scotch. Yeah, must be Chris's.
Well, Miss Sharice, she is all fancy. First of all, let me say, Sharice, you have some liquor in your house that has been there for 12 years. I'm just kidding. To me, that was funny. Hey, y'all came by one night. Paul Gallagher killed my bottle of Jack Daniels. Uh-huh. Paul,
I love Jack Daniels.
Now the truth
Really?
is coming out, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun.
I have a 12-year-old bottle of Scotch that came from Scotland and was given to me, I think about 5 years ago, by my son, who literally went to Scotland and bought that bottle of Scotch. It's still here waiting for a very, very special occasion.
So now I'm going to ask you a very ridiculous question, but that's what I do. I ask very ridiculous and very important questions because I know I'm not the only one in the whole wide world that wants to know this.
I'll back it up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Heather. You know what's weird, Heather? I can barely see you because the little live button is right over your face. You need to move down. How do I move you? Hold on. No, but now y'all are little.
That's all right.
So there.
Whatever works.
That's okay. I can see your face now. My question is, are you ready for it? It's a good one. Oh my God, it is such a good question. I'm even embarrassed to ask. Is Scotch from Scotland? Because I don't know. I've never drank Scotch.
I'm not a Scotch drinker.
I really don't know. I'm not kidding. I know.
I said I backed her. I'm done. I didn't back her now.
Yeah. Scotch is like an upper class whiskey. Okay, it's smooth.
Okay, but is it from Scotland?
The bottle of Scotch I have is from Scotland. Yes.
Oh, I thought that was
Scotland actually prides itself on its Scotch, and actually, I can't even believe that I'm giving you this frivolous knowledge. I think it was 60 Minutes did a show on this, and Ardbeg is one of their top of the line, like basically walk through the factory with gloves. Like I can't even. How do you do it? Scottish accent, and this is our Ardbeg, and this is the best. And he holds it like this.
Oh my God. So we had a singer-songwriter on from Scotland. Remember that? Jim Aitken was from Scotland. Remember that, Paul? And everybody?
Yeah.
Paul's embarrassed.
I'm gonna get Carolyn's corner into trouble here. But there's a difference between the Scottish accent and the Irish accent. So the Irish, they talk like they have something stuck up their butt and their mouth just doesn't move that much.
I wouldn't say that if I were you. Oh my God, they fight you for
that. Was good, Heather. How did you do that so easily?
But the Irish,
I ombre voices. I'll end up
where the Scottish, they open their mouths so much and they just love to pontificate.
I did not know that we had all of these amazing voices in this room. Taylor, can you do any voices?
Yeah, and by the way, I live in Texas. For any of you that are coming to look for me, that are from Ireland,
I'm on my way.
Oh my God!
I just went pirate. I've got my coat.
Well, and we are not drinking Scotch or whiskey right now. We are drinking tea and soda and water. So I don't know. This is going downhill really fast. It all began with my question.
Know how
one of the characters in my story is one of my fairies is Scottish.
Wow.
He is? Which one he is? It's okay.
Wait, that puts you back in the.
I bought your
You
book.
lie, little Jer.
Oh, you did?
Little Jer.
Oh.
Y'all are. I knew if
nice.
I knew it was going to be hard to be serious tonight, but I had. Oh my
You're
God!
shaking your
Scott,
head.
it's Scotch from
Carolyn,
Scotland.
you're shaking your head at the fact that you bought my books.
Do what? Who? Oh,
Taylor's like, oh, please save me, somebody.
Okay.
Jaws are literally hurting because I'm laughing and smiling. So
there is this wonderful company.
Yes.
There's a wonderful company that's out there called Book Pressed. It's kind of like
that.
all around Heather over there. And
thank you. I heard about that. In fact, that is so. It seems familiar to me. I think there's a lady named Heather Lee Ryan that runs Book Press.
Ryan, yep.
Shameless plug.
So, Heather Lee Ryan, welcome to Carolyn's Corner, back as Heather Lee Ryan from Book Press. Why, are you a model? She is modeling. She is modeling the latest.
He's
The
Vanna
latest,
Whiting it.
the latest merch. It's called merch, by the way. No one says merchandise anymore. I found that out. We can't even use that word. It's illegal to use that word. We have to say merch. So you have a T-shirt on. No one can really see it from this angle, but here, let me make you
blow her up, make her big. There
Get
you
ready.
Go.
Hold on. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, and it says, you're going to have to tell them what it says. You can't.
It says we be hanging at Carolyn's Corner.
That is so cool.
B being spelled B-E-E.
That is so awesome, Heather.
From Beeville.
You are so wonderful. Yeah, because we're in Beeville, Texas, which is Beeville, or as my son calls it, Be Evil. And I'm like, that is not why it's called Beeville. That's wrong. Heather, that is so cool. So she made a T-shirt. You are so awesome. Gosh.
We be hanging. We had to make it cool.
And we
young. We had to make it cool for Taylor and myself.
Oh, that's good. That's so cool. You made me feel younger. You made me feel younger. So the name of your company is Book Pressed.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself and that title. It's a cool title.
Okay. Well, Book Press actually came to me when, Jerry saw the sparkles come from me. But honestly, okay, so basic me, I'm originally from Bell Fountain, Ohio. Okay. I graduated high school in 1987. I attended Ohio State University. I enjoyed the literary classes. I really had a great time, but it wasn't enough to keep me in college. So after what I call as the college sleepover,
You had
one of those for just enough. And you have to ask yourself, and and I said to a lot of people, we all think, and you had mentioned this earlier, is I don't know where I would be now if I would have stayed in, if I wouldn't have had as much of a struggle. And if I didn't have that struggle, I might not have been able to build a website for beginners because I wouldn't have had the beginner's thought process for this. But I've traveled to many places. My hometown right now is Pinehurst, North Carolina. My husband and I have 4 children, ages 19 to 23. They're all over the place. They're doing great. They're having a fun time in their life. Awesome. We have a dog, and it's a mixed breed, and not a lot of people have my mixed breed. You have to kind of like sign on for him, like the devil, because it's half demon and half Malinois. And it's her specialty is staring you down and side eyeing you and barking when you talk. So that's my family.
That's what Carolyn does to me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And tell them about the peanut butter real quick, because I have to let you tell them.
She has
this thing. Tell them. Yeah.
This dog is smart enough to know that I was trying to speak with Taylor and Carolyn yesterday. Honestly, the dog was, I don't even want to imitate it because it's so.
Oh my God.
It's so bad.
It made me laugh so hard.
I just basically, by the time I got done with the conversation with everybody here, I literally, the big jars of Jif, I just threw the thing in the living room. I just hope for the best, I just hope for the best. And the dog was quiet enough that I was okay. But there are things that we do you would never tell anybody. I'm telling you, but I know if you have that demon dog like I do, you'll be talking, and I've seen people shoe their dog. I never hurt my dog. They kick their dog and they put it into a room. I throw jars of Jif, and it's not pretty. But you know what? It is what it is. So there it is. Yeah. So anyway, So there's where I'm from. There are 3 things that I would like for people to know about Book Press. And the first thing that I would like for you to know is what it is and what it is not. So what it is, Book Press is a huge beta site for authors to double check their work, to ask for help from other authors and editors, and to work on your craft. And it's huge. It's a very, very important thing. You should even be doing it in between writing your books, anything. But what it is not is it is not a publishing site or an advertising site for books. We already have Kindle for that. So publishing may very well be on the horizon, but not right now. Our main concern is getting the writers ready and educated enough to go bravely into the publishing world. The second thing I would like for you to know is our site is geared for fun opportunities. I like to have fun. I like to laugh, but I also I think it's important to make learning fun, and it should be something that's not so daunting. A lot of writers just kind of go and head off into the room by themselves, but you can actually get communication. As long as writers are funny, but as long as we're getting communication and help from other writers, it tends to move along a lot quicker and a lot smoother. The third thing that I would like for you to know is that BookPress is a trademark site. What that means that we formed our business around ideas at work. We did it to protect our intellectual property, and it's maintained by real attorneys. So
wow.
That's pretty big right now, especially in the website area and people building websites. So, honestly, the two things that promoted my drive to create BookPress were there was a need for writers groups. And there was a need for beta work. So 13 years ago, after deciding to write my own book, I quickly realized that I was going to need help. And this was not a college paper that I was handing in. And I needed to immerse myself in with local writers, find some other people who could help me. And this was not an easy task. They weren't easy to find. And a lot of the writers groups, they weren't comfortable. They were very selective in readings and lacked the help and advice that I needed from me.
Wow.
The other reason that prompted me to really push for BookPress, and as I said, it was I have friends who are unable to leave their bed or to leave their house, or are so severely depressed that maybe writing is their only way out. And just to reach out and ask for help is just so overwhelming and so daunting for them. So I knew that I could create a website that can include these things. So Jerry introduced me to David. And David Hardy is our website for the designer. And David has been the left side of my right brain on this. And it is important because my creativity goes to his numbers. He's seeing numbers. I'm seeing how can we make this work? And it's taken 10 years to build this site.
Wow.
We didn't just have a basic thing. We knew that it had to work off of timers. It had to be easy, and it had to be fun. And that was just laying out the baseline for it has been something else. So, he built that, and he tore the site down so many times that we had to do that until we could finally say, that's it. We've got a website. So we have a website to help librarians or libraries, college classes, songwriters. We took the why can't there be one spot for people like me to go to, and we made that. And you can contribute each other's work. You can announce group classes, share helpful hints, challenge writers to a race. Initially, the website was thought to be for beginners, and it turned out to be a site that offered the most seasoned writers a chance to find the beta readers. And David and I have honestly created a website that I believe is the most helpful for beginning authors, editors, and ebook cover artists. I think it's the best thing that's out there right now on the web. It's just to get used. So very adventurous and very fun. And it has so many facets to it that it's really impossible for me to explain it all. But in pieces and parts, it works for the writers. It works for the editors. It works for the readers, the ebook cover artists. I let ebook cover artists come on there. So you can buy an ebook cover. It's pieces and parts to a book, and this. And a lot of my friends right now are changing their book covers. They're not changing what they're writing. They're just taking the book and changing the cover. And I have a girlfriend who's very, very angry at this because she went to go buy a new book, and she was like, "I've read this book," and I said, "Oh, that's the new thing. The book cover, it's not like it used to be, where the book cover is a book cover and it stayed. They're changing book covers, and they're doing it so they can push their book." It's marketing.
Wow.
It's marketing.
And tell them, okay, so they can just go, and we got a lot more to talk about, believe me, but they can just go to bookpressed.com to find all of this, right?
Yes.
Now I'm going to put that on the screen. I see it behind you too. I don't know if they can read it too well. So let me see if this will work, because it's not. There you go. And I don't know why I have to type these twice. I don't know why it's not working. Go ahead. Keep talking. I'm so sorry.
You can't read it. It's right here.
There it is. Thank you, Paul. Or whoever did that. I do have it. but I didn't.
And the marketing is crazy. It's not, you have to, of course,
Thank you, Paul.
TikTok and, Instagram, Facebook. It's very time consuming for anybody who's doing anything with writing a book, checking on Amazon, checking on your songs. I mean, everything. You can't even just do your job anymore. And one of the girls that I work with had actually said, you can't just be this. You have to be a videographer. You have to be a photographer. You have to be, basically a computer genius to hack in to get other people to get on at the same time. I mean, these sites and these restreams, everything, they've made it possible for you to invite up to how many people. And it is a genuinely awesome tool that we can absolutely do this. And
what can you offer? How do you help? I'm very curious. How do you help songwriters? How can it help songwriters?
Oh, Jerry, did you want to say something?
No, it's okay. I'll let you answer this. I was going to
songwriters. Okay. So the cool thing about it is there's pieces and parts on the website. So I call them round tables. And that would be where Jerry would go on there and he would say, look, this is, you can name it and you can put your own little picture above it. It has Jerry's face and it's his group and it'll say Jerry's Writers Group. And he will invite you onto that. Nobody else can see that. That's your own little area. You guys, I've made it so you can, I haven't made it. David, my lovely, lovely, lovely web designer. And I want to give just as much credit for this, but David and I have made it so that you can attach videos onto there. So if Jerry might be able to, maybe he thinks of something at 2:00 in the morning, he can just say, okay, guys, listen, I had this, lyric that I was thinking of and he can play it and he can actually post it on there. And whenever you get to it and you can talk back to him. It's not something that has to be done immediately. So that's your group.
Wow. So it's a way to, another thing, it's a way to have all those groups, because to me, I'm already going in 20 different directions. It feels like with all of it. So it's a way to have everything in one. You go into, basically, right? That's what that's going to help with that.
And
too,
well, you think about it. So for the writers, so you don't have to post your whole book there. There are people who are posting whole book, but a lot of times, like in the writers clubs at Jerry and I, what I did and what I found that worked, because I did, and Jerry knows this, I actually had held a couple of different types of writers groups. I wanted to see if this worked. And I would have the writers come in and sit down at a table, and there would be, let's just say 3 writers at a table. They would bring in 8 pages of their work. They would make 3 copies of 8 pages of the work. They would spin it around and everybody would take that time and read those 8 pages. They would circle where they found, question mark, things like that. And then they would put their email down. When it was all handed around, people would talk about it and say, I really like this, but, if this story is taking place in Mexico, does his name really have to be Steve? I mean, you're going to, because writers really do hold on to their work. They do not, they say they want help, but the first thing they do is make excuses for why they've written what they've written, instead of listening to people who have betaed it and said, look, this is what I read. It felt off. So if you have 3 people looking at you saying the same thing, the authors are a little bit more apt to change it. You can comment. So we do have 3 beta feedback at the bottom of each of your chapters that you put back, coming from an advanced, a beginner, and an intermediate.
Wow.
And you can comment at any point. But by getting that, people are learning by critiquing. They're learning how to critique, and they're learning helpful critiquing. So this is a teaching. It's actually teaching them.
Wow.
How to critique.
I love the idea of this already, and I'm not an author, but just the fact that it's a place where
amazing.
Writers can go. Yeah, isn't that cool, Paul? I
it's
love
so funny.
idea of this.
It's funny how you say that writers want help, and then we get the help, and then we make excuses. It's so funny is like when I was writing the Fairytome series, I would have my wife, or even my short stories, I'd have my wife read them or read some of it, and she'll have a question about it. I'm like, well, that's happening because of this, and this, and this, making the excuses, just like you said. And
if you hear it from 3 people, then you're like, daggone it, I might want to look into changing that. When I was first starting out, where one of the first person who had said, and you know who it was, but he said, go through and take out every single that. And I was like, geez, that just changed my whole thing. And that'll tell you how basic, how beginning I was. I was like, this, that, so this, that. And by changing that, so these are the things that you grow. We're not trying to take over Scrivener. I'm not doing it. I don't want the butterflies. I want the caterpillars. And that is what people are missing. Those are the people who want to write. And how many people, especially if you write, you guys write, that will say, you'll run into somebody, oh, you're writing a book? I've always wanted to write a book. I've always wanted to write a book.
A lot. I hear that and I don't even write.
You can. Yeah. And there's other instances, and Jerry, you know this, where we'll go to writers' conventions. And even I did this. I did the geekiest thing I've ever done. I'm surprised, Jerry, you didn't hit underneath the table, but there was an author there. And I was like, I would like for you to read my book. And it was like, Jerry was like, no, it's so embarrassing. Don't ever do that. And I'm like, what? Read my book. I didn't know that. They're busy writing their own book.
You don't say that then. Okay.
Well, I mean, okay, think of it this way. Now, we know Cherise.
I did a geek thing.
Yeah, but what if, if this is, you're a brand new writer, nobody knows who you are, you haven't been around very long, and you ask, I don't know, Johnny Cash, will you listen to my song?
Yeah.
I mean,
Johnny, you got something that's going to guarantee put you on your knees. You're going to love it.
Wow.
So that's kind of where we were at.
I see what you're saying.
Although she took it very well.
But I probably would have done it too, Heather, if you didn't know.
When you write something, you're like,
it's your baby.
I'm so glad to be here at the family reunion. Would you mind reading my book? And you're like, oh, Uncle Paul, that's so great. And you're just like, you're handing him a stack. You're like, it's not in order, but can you just look at it? And
my son is on here. He said, very interesting. Yeah, it is very interesting.
And I think that the thing of it is it's really kind of cool. Because if you are a writer and you're doing book signings, actually, you might want to keep a couple of my cards there and say, no, I really don't have time to read it because I'm writing so much.
Good idea.
I'm going to give you a book press. This is a website that is guaranteed to be there for you. So yes, that's what it's for. And
that is so cool. Go ahead.
It's just amazing that you're like, I'm paying attention to what's happening on TikTok, and the people are getting on there and they're saying, if you would like to write and you are make sure you don't, and Paul, do you do plots? Do you diagram? Do you do this? No, I know you don't, because you know how I know? At the end of your book, you told me you didn't know who the characters were and what they were doing, and you got lost and you got lucky, didn't you? And you caught yourself. So there are ways, but you just learned. Wow. And there are people who fall, so I like to analyze writers and how they're doing things. And it's very incredible that you're going to do what you're going to do, but you're going to also find out what you don't know very quickly.
Wow.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Because you just grew. That's incredible.
That is so cool.
It's fun.
And knowing Paul the way I do, he catches on to stuff so quick. I'm always so impressed with Paul. I mean, like the guitar and the music. I'm like, what? And he's a great advocate to have in your corner as well, because he will support you and promote you. And I just love Paul. I have the utmost respect for him.
Songwriters and writers are going to be on a total different end, because songwriting, you can totally feel free and absolutely throw a penguin in your rock and roll, and it's going to make sense.
Like a snake in it. What was it? A rattlesnake in the kitchen.
His name was Penguin. And you can do it. And
he was not black and white. His name was Penguin.
He was in love with his wife. Penguin. You can do it.
Another great hook. Thank you, Heather.
Yeah. You can do that. But for writers, you
can't say it's a purple penguin. They're
planters. You fly by the seat of your pants, and I think that's great. But in order for you to really write a book and incorporate all these characters, you are going to drown very quickly, in which way to look. I don't know which way to look, which way. And that would be, something you could talk to somebody and say, what do you think? But you can put that on the website. And coaching right now is very big. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have seen songwriter coaches, writing coaches, coach is going to help you with this. Coach is going to help you with that. These are coaches that are on there that are learning. and it's not $80 an hour. And
Yeah.
$80 an hour. I'm not saying,
cool.
and I'm not saying that the coaches aren't worth it. I'm saying if you are a beginner, work on your craft, see where you are, and then get the help that you need. You need to assess where you are in your writing before you ask for the help. I do not think that it's fair that editors are overcharging for what they're doing. I think we need to educate more writers and tell them what an editor is, what it should be. They all know editors fix things, but is it a copy editor? Did they put themselves out as a copy editor and they're not?
Right.
You know, do you need somebody to help you with your stories? Do you need them to help them with just your commas, whatever? You need to find what works for you. And so this is really cool for the editors who are just coming out of college. They really do need that help. I don't care. You need to practice too. So by getting on there, you can fix somebody's work. You can fix it, put it up there, and you might just link out. You might just link up with somebody who can catapult you into writing your story and help you. Boy, this is a hand-in-hand thing. So everybody needs to learn. And there's
I love that. I love that.
Creating that website where I didn't step on people's toes. And this is the most that I've ever talked about the website, because I had to make sure that it was up and running. People are very curious about the writer races and how it runs. And Jerry, I
know you challenged me.
You're a wuss. It's okay. I know you can't get it. It's fine. Can't handle it.
On.
And no banging your hands on the keys. So writer race is someplace where you can go and you can race another writer for words. And when
race another writer for words, explain real quick.
When you get stuck writing, a lot of people can kind of get in a slump, but we tell you to write and write. And you're like, well, gee, that sounds really great. But if I'm going to race you, and I did this with my girlfriends, Dawn Sinjay and Sherry Wingler, my two very closest friends. And they would, do a writer race. And they'll be like, okay, call me back in an hour. Tell me how many words you got. And so that's what we would do. But there's a 10-minute
writer race on their own books to try to motivate each other.
You can limit, you can challenge another writer, and you can also just challenge yourself.
I love that. It's a community of encouragement and support. Wow, Heather. And I love the fact that you oh my God. Yeah. And I love the fact that you pointed out that you had friends that were not able to leave their house and maybe still can't. And with the
they
fact
can create
that
their
is
own private group on there.
That is so great.
How much?
What a loving, kind thing to do. Yeah.
Look,
wow. Go ahead, Jerry.
If I can jump in here. One of the things, and I'll try not to get emotional, one of the things that really drove this is within the Veterans Writing Collective that we were bringing these people together, and which was a wonderful, wonderful idea. But there's a lot of people that have a really hard time. I'm going to sit here and open up to you about what's going on with me, whether it's the veteran or it's the spouse, dealing with the different issues. Being face to face with somebody is really hard. Being on a website and talking to them, it's just different. I mean, it's just
it feels anonymous. It feels anonymous almost.
To a certain extent, you have the anonymity, but you also know that you're in that group with other people that understand. Not only understand what you're going through or may have been through, but understand that you're struggling also as a writer. And if you look at it as a writer, like Heather said earlier, you can't be one thing as a writer, not in today's world. You have to be that person that puts together, you're going to do your own editing, you're going to do your own management, marketing, you're going to do all of these things. Right. But here's a place where you can go to. I got really lucky. I got to sit down and have an interview with Nicholas Sparks one time. I'm making it sound like it was just me. It was a bunch of us, right? It was at college. And he talked about Nicholas Sparks, right? Yes. The notebook guy. And he talked about how lucky he got because he decided I'm taking a year off and I'm going to write, right? Wow. His editor that he found was hungry, brand new, never edited anybody. His manager that he found never managed anybody. These were two brand new people, right? He got in good. When I wrote a stage play. When I wrote that play and I needed it edited.
Completely different. Yeah. To write a play, that's
wow.
Yeah. But if you write, this is ridiculous. You just write the same thing like 6 times in different ways.
So I had to have somebody
Interesting.
edit this, right?
True.
I was fortunate enough to get somebody. In fact, Sherry was the one that hooked me up, told me about this person. I don't want to mention their name, but told me this person was starting out and she's looking for customers. So it worked really good. A few years later, I went back and said, I'd like for you to edit some more work of mine. Her prices were crazy because she
Sherry?
becomes, no,
Oh, the
Claudette.
other, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, became,
Wow.
but she had become so sought after. So that's kind of what Heather's doing is she's saying, hey, here's the new editors that are hungry. Here's the, and when we say editing, again, editing means a lot of things.
Yeah, the young editors really need to find out what they're good at, because they'll say one thing, and you know, I've had girlfriends
You have
where
line
they pay
editors, copy editors.
$400 just to have her book done. Honest to God, it was awful. You know,
That's a lot of
if
money.
it wasn't awful, it might have been correct in a grammarly way. The problem with it is it changed the voice of the character. It changed everything. And that's where it hurt, because it was like, you know, it didn't mean she couldn't fix that. It meant, oh my gosh, I thought I was done with my job by writing the book. I'm not done with my job. When you finish a book, that is when your job begins. That is a whole nother thing. You are the only person who is going to care about that book. Publishing, no publishing, whatever. If you feel for your songs, it would be like, I'm going to wait here with my songs until somebody approaches me and says, you look like a songwriter.
That's what I did. That's what I did.
You're going to have to put yourself out there.
I did.
You're going to have to educate up. And actually, you know what? Meeting other writers is not such a bad thing. Gone are the days where writers were sitting in a room, typing, banging out stories, sending them into Simon and Schuster, Penguin, and they were like, never write again, and sending it back to you. And there were some excellent writers that they crushed to the point where all they probably needed was a different view, or that person who read it should have never been the person to read it. The idea that Kindle publishing busted up the doors of publishing, and it was great because it allowed us, I mean, even Wool came out. That was great. That is self-published. That was one of the very kind of first books that was actually like, whoa, what is this? Girl Gone? Gone Girl Gone? That was from there too. But unfortunately, we've murkied the waters of publishing by now. Everybody's just putting it out. And that's a little bit hard because now we have pretty covers and we need people to do a little bit better. So we need to bring those writers back in. We need to just start getting them and practicing them a little bit more so that they can get ready. Like I said, we need to get these writers ready for and educated enough to be bravely put into publishing.
Okay. And if I can help here a little bit, you were asking how could songs be worked into this? You know, for example, you know, I've been working with Priscilla, you know, and we sit down and we go with simple stuff like the 10 sections of a song, the 10 possible sections of a song, and how to structure your songwriting. And, you know, whether we're talking about
you can put, like Jerry, you write, so you could put an article out there that can help some of the songwriters with that, but you would have your own, you could have your own group.
Right. So that group, we could take the beginning and you could have the people that I would consider, you know, intermediate. You're feeding that information. You know, how much information have you gained over the last, I don't know, what have we been doing this for now? 4 months, 5 months? I mean, I know you've been doing it for a long time, Carolyn. But
I thought you were talking about her. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as far as
you know, I have learned so much. Oh my gosh!
Right, now,
it's unbelievable.
Brand new person like Priscilla that's hungry for it. I'm going to dump this information on her.
Right.
So she goes, okay, I'm not starting from zero-based knowledge.
Yes.
You know, I am starting with some knowledge on. And as I tell Priscilla, we can break the rules, but it's really good to kind of know them first before you start breaking them.
Right.
You know, kind of the same thing in any of the
Sky's the
rules,
limit when you write, and then you find out, ooh, double negative.
Yeah.
I love it.
Not know nothing.
Wow. Yes, I've done that plenty of times. Paul, what did you want to ask Heather anything or add anything to the conversation, sir? I know you're a writer, so I see you just deep in thought there. I can see Paul's wheels.
So for everybody who wants to know, Paul has 2 books. He's on Amazon. And
he's got more than 2. Yeah.
He's got the two books that I have looked at. They are books on the fairies. And he leaves us with a cliffhanger. When's that cliffhanger going to be taken care of there? That was short for I'll get back to you when I can.
June.
I'm writer words for I'm not ready for it. I haven't written it out yet. I'll get to it.
No. It's already written. It's already no. See, it's funny with these 3 books. They're already written. I'm just going through and editing them and making the story make sense across the 3 books. And because that's something that's very important.
Now,
I love it. I love it, right? And I do have it. I do have an issue because I have excessive dry eyes.
But yeah, and this website is amazing. And I'm actually, I think I'm going to join and actually submit some of my work. I am, because I got on TikTok to promote my work, and that's what I did. I originally, my daughter's like, you need to get on TikTok so you can start selling your books. And like I said, I am a horrible salesman. And then all of a sudden I got on TikTok and I think I did my book like 3 or 4 videos. And after that, it was like just me goofing off.
Right. And just, so here's my take on this is gonna be hard. Here we go. So watching TikTok, what's happened is we're watching authors where they're trying to finagle their books the way they were doing it on Amazon, which is you be my friend, you look at my book, and then I'll rate your book, and then we'll keep rating it. This is not a brand. This is about human beings. So Paul, if you want to get on and you want to put that on and say, Paul, I'm writing my 3rd book. It sucks. And you know what I mean? If you want to be real with it, you're going to get more people looking at you. They're not going to go, you're going to be like, now you'll be like, seriously, let me get this down. You'll be like, hi, my name is Paul and this is my book. Get it? I mean,
that would be great. I want you to do that.
Exactly what's happening. So we don't know the Paul. I want to know the Paul. So if the TikTok is flip the marketing upside down, which I'm very pleased with because it actually needed to. But it's called Book Talk. And, a lot of people, they're like, let's talk about falling action. No, I don't want to talk about falling action. If I want to go, I'm going to look at it. What is it? Denouement? Is that correct? How do you say that?
I have no idea what a falling action is.
Different way. So you've got things like your.
Am I supposed to know what falling action is? Oh my God, I'm so.
You're talking about some different things, and these are boring. Who's Paul, and why is Paul writing this? Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm writing it because I have grandkids, and they are driving me nuts, and I need time. And this RV is letting me do that. Buy my book. Buy me a book so I can get a better RV and I'll have more books that'll be better books because I'll have more time.
Love that.
So those are the things that people fall in love with, and that is TikTok.
Okay, Paul. So I want you to be starting putting stuff like that on there. Okay, so the truth is, my wife bought a new swimming pool, and I need to sell some books.
That's
what you say. My name's Paul. I wrote this book. I need to write more, and I need a new camper. And you know what? I want you to read it because I want you to know I'm getting better.
I love Heather. You are great. Oh my gosh, Heather, you are great. Poor Taylor over there. It's like she's saying, and now she has to nobody puts Taylor in the corner.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to this real quick.
Songwriting is amazing to me. I could never write something. I would turn it into a novel. I'd be like,
that's what Paul did,
to a bar, to the whiskey.
And when we look at
and she fell on the floor and she cut herself. I mean, I would do that.
Poetry, songwriting, they all kind of mesh together very well.
Yes.
But I want to talk, this book press is not free. It does cost a little bit of money.
I was going to ask that. Thank you.
It costs about $60 a year.
A year?
A year. Okay. So Taylor, how much time, you don't have to be exact. Okay. How much money do you pay for studio time?
Oh shit! I already know the answer to that.
I'm dropping.
Your mic must be off.
You're muted.
We can't hear you. Somebody type in the text. Hurry. Hold on. I can't get my finger in the camera.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little mic one. It's not the camera one.
Now we are, David and I are going to give.
It's not muted. Okay. Anyway, I am paying just for studio time. I'm spending at least $200 a month.
At least
that's
minimal.
That's minimum, right?
I know. When you said a year, I like, no, that can't. I literally was going to say $60 a month. That's fair. Yeah. Even that is very, very low. But a year,
I spend more when you look at Walmart.
Wow. Now what we need to do is help her because she doesn't know, right. So she's starting this off, and the more people we get into this, the more it's going to work. Yeah. The more people that's got experience writing, a little bit of experience like Paul and myself that we've had to get in there, we can help others that are, working on poetry books, working on, fairy books. I don't do fairy books.
And actually,
I like when y'all call it a fairy book. If there's I love Paul's books. Everybody's always picking
Paul,
on
if you have like other friends that you do get together with and write, I don't know. I don't. She's Taylor saying it's not working.
No.
Good. I can read your lips though. I can read lips.
And we'll read whatever you write
and
to
we'll
her.
read it. Yeah, type and she can hear me. I forgot she can hear me.
Yeah. She can hear you.
Taylor, I'm over here typing.
Taylor, let me tell you what we're going to do now.
That's exactly what I just remember. What was that the last time when Paul, when I laughed at you because you were yelling or something because they couldn't hear? I don't remember.
So she's saying it's not. She's saying it's not muted, so
she can hear me.
Tay's doing TikTok now. That's what's going on.
I love it. So Taylor, I've spent thousands of dollars in the studio. Thank you, Taylor. Taylor says she has spent thousands. What's good about this is you're resting your voice so you can sing more and more and more. That's what it is. That's why it's not working. Teresa's back. Thousands. I bet you have. I'm not even kidding. Especially your songs sound like, let me say again how amazing you are, Taylor. And I really do mean that. It's called Read My Lips, Caption This. Yes. Your dad should have come on the show with you. Yeah. He's just great. I think he's awesome. Tay's doing a TikTok now. Who's Tay? I
can barely see. That her phone is tied up because if she's doing TikTok, that it won't link up because TikTok interferes with everything else. Which it does.
I have this. By the way, in case y'all don't know, sometimes there's this thing that says pin message, and it blocks my view on these messages. So if anyone in the group, y'all don't have access to put them on the screen, do you? Am I the only one that's in control of the thing?
You are in control.
You're in control of everything, Carolyn. You're the high goddess.
You poor people. You poor people. Whose idea was this?
Yeah.
Let's put Carolyn with the clicker. What is wrong with this picture?
But Heather, your website sounds so just wonderful.
It really
it's going to work. Now, this is what I tell it. Now, I do not mind telling them. This is such a brand new site that we need more hamsters on the wheel. This is how it's going to work. So the groups coming in, when they have their own writers groups, are going to take off, and they can write articles and put helpful articles on there, which is kind of cool. So when the articles come out, if we feel like this is a very helpful article, we're going to go ahead and slam that and put that on through BookPress all the way through there. It's just really a neat idea and a neat place for people to be.
So you can see something that's going to be beneficial for others and put it. Wow, that's cool.
It's like me. I'm a writer in a small town, and I don't know of any other writers.
Yeah.
And it's like my job. My job's the same way. I'm the only tech in this area that covers like a 400 square mile radius.
Seriously, my best friend Sherry, she is up in Indiana. There is nobody around who writes. Nobody.
Wow.
She put this book out and edited herself. I was blown away. I gave her an article because I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what I did with this one. Like the Fairydom basically series it was literally me.
That's good, Jerry.
By myself.
All right,
getting
Paul,
Grammarly.
If you go to the site on the very main landing page, you can download a free. This is free. And it helps you. And actually on this, I've made it so when I'm handing it out, when I go to Kentucky, that you can write.
Our silent Taylor over here.
This actually helps you. It collects your idea. It collects you and it keeps you together.
Okay, so is it? Can you probably use that for songwriting too?
You can
What do you mean
you
collect
can-
your idea? What I wish I could
think
see
You
it.
can use it
songwriters.
for basically about anything, and
I
that's
wish-
one of the things that
I
I've
wish I
always
could
had
see it.
issues
I
with.
can't
Is
make-
like plotting for me has always been an issue. I've tried doing the whole getting the ideas down in
Yeah,
order and
I don't
stuff,
do that very well
and
either.
plotting everything out, and
And the basic thing is somebody, and I had somebody.
Oh, see, that's why Taylor's songs are so good. She says she does this a lot when she's writing. Taylor, that's why.
Yeah, you
There
have
you
to
go.
you just think. A lot of my girlfriends actually work backwards. You may work backwards. They know exactly how they want that ending to be, and then they'll work it backwards. And you have to just think of the 3 things that are going to make that character change. And you know, your protagonist, your antagonist is not always going to be that. It could be alcohol.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
alcohol could be your.
Yeah.
You know,
Your antagonist.
It could
You know,
totally be.
That reminds me, because Nicholas Sparks was asked, what is the first, when you go to write a story, like, I don't remember, he's got a bunch of movies and stuff, The Notebook. When you go to write a story like The Notebook, how do you begin? He says, well, I began by writing the last chapter.
That's a lot of them. It's just a lot of, they see what they, they're like,
and for me, I can't do that.
So
No.
you
For
said
me,
they begin by writing the last chapter. Wow.
Paul has it, and I'm gonna kind of read and look into your brain a little bit, but I think, Paul, the way that you write is you actually let the characters tell you what they're gonna do.
He says he does. They
So-
tell him what to write. And I was like, that's so weird, but I kind of understand that in a way. Poor Taylor. I hate that you can't talk. I feel bad.
Well, Paul's more of a grower than a builder.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Depending on the song, she does that sometimes. See?
Yeah. Then
Wow.
you can say, like, and that's amazing because I say, there's a heart
Hi, Kimmy.
song. What is that heart song where she's basically, she picks up a hitchhiker?
Oh,
and
yeah. It was
I'm like-
a lonely night. I know it. Hold on. And I was just thinking about that song.
It's a heart.
Oh, we make love. And she picked him up on the side of the road.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And I saw his own eyes.
Yeah. Remember she had the baby.
Oh wait,
with
I was
him?
gonna start singing it. Yes, he didn't ask me. I didn't ask.
See,
his
now
name.
and I was thinking
Sorry.
of this, and I was like, there really aren't that
Hi, Kimmy.
many. Eminem, I'll say this: Eminem
Yeah.
does give you a story as well.
He does.
He gives you
He
the whole
does,
story.
and I'm not into rap really, but he does give a story.
He gives
Yeah,
you the story, and then you have
the
Heart,
beginning,
who
the
gave
middle,
you
and
a
the
story.
end. Yeah,
And
that's true. I like story songs.
So
I
they
do.
have to give you a story quickly and efficiently,
It's not
and
very fast.
that's kind of cool.
Wow.
And I
Speaking
was
of-
with the clown when the car broke down.
Yes,
Yeah.
my hubby, and I love him. Yes. So I know. We're gonna have to write that song, Jerry. That's the song we need to write together.
See, Taylor,
the
that's what I'm
battery
talking about. I was
exploded, and he
questioning
was
you
wearing
because
his.
I'm like, I've got this song. I've got it. Ooh,
Yes.
I'm going to do this. And then there's no cars around. I'm like, and I'm not singing through my nose. I'm like, I'm checking. I'm like, no, I'm not singing through my nose. Okay, so I'm doing it. And then here comes my part. Here comes my lady jam. It's my lady jam. And we're at a stop sign. I can't sing.
You are so funny. Oh my
Because they're
god.
looking at me. But I
They
was
do
gonna
look
get
at
it.
you, and you look over, and then you act like that you were just adjusting the radio. Oh,
I was
do you-
gonna
I know.
people. I'm so proud of
hope-
you, Taylor, because you'll
Oh
look
my
at him
God.
and you'll be like,
Like I'll just keep doing it. I ain't scared of
Yeah,
you
yeah.
because I am on
Yeah.
fire, like a fire. I'm on fire. That's what I'm like.
and I do this. I'm like,
Don't look at me, please. You're making me nervous. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
And
Oh my
Heather-
gosh, guys and gals! You know what?
Yeah,
It is
it's getting late.
9:41. I can't believe it. I knew tonight was going to fly by.
I have one question I want to ask
Of
Heather.
course.
It has nothing to do with what she's talking about.
Oh, okay. That's
So
usually what I do.
She is she's a hairdresser.
Nice.
Is that the right terminology? But I want to ask, who's the most famous
Cosmetologist.
Cosmetologist. Who's
Yes.
the most famous person you've ever worked
Thank you. Good question.
worked with.
or
Done their
on
hair?
or whatever?
Sounds weird.
I've worked backstage with Goldwell and just, I was a maid. I would have to say that I'll say the most famous person I've ever met and the one I have a crush on, like, would be Trevor Sorby.
I have to see a picture. I'm terrible with names.
He's an amazing, he is an amazing artist. He always will be. I'm sure he's probably second guessing himself at this point, but I think he's an amazing hairdresser. You've always got the people who are going to go back and tell you Vidal. I think more of the people who, when you get into hairdressing, you're either going to go the stage route, the marketing route, or the education. So it depends on which route you go. I think, to me right now, Tom Dispenza is probably one of the most educational colorists out there. I think he's incredible. I think he has a way of teaching. So I'm actually more intrigued with the teachers. Trevor Sorby is probably hands down the coolest person ever in this industry, to me.
So what would you classify yourself as? Are you an educator in hair?
Actually,
in hair? That did not come out right.
I
ran
have
out of
done
air.
something very, very weird. I took 2 girls and I educated the live and love out of them, meaning I didn't just teach them one day a week, every single client, every single thing. And these girls, we're actually getting to a point where I don't think that we'll be able to take new clients anymore. And these are girls who just graduated and have been doing here for 3 years. And their quality of work is good. They're still learning. They're just growing. I gave them the base. They're doing their thing, and it's incredible.
And that's what you're doing for these writers.
That
is what you're doing for these writers.
What works, and I'm like, I think this is going to work, and I want to see if this, and it does. So I love what I do. Writing is my passion, tell. And this is where this is my next phase of life.
Yes, and Heather, I want to say honestly, I knew immediately when I met you. I was just like, oh gosh, we're kindred, just like Taylor with both of you. Honestly, y'all are kind, loving, helpful. Y'all are just like, that's what we're all about. You guys are awesome. I mean, really awesome, and I mean that sincerely. Jerry and Paul both know me well enough to know I don't say, oh, I just say, oh, you're nice. No, but I mean, like, I really think a lot of you guys, and I am so
she doesn't give away
that
free
y'all are on the
compliments.
show. No, I don't.
She'll be real quick.
You guys are so sweet. I'm very thankful. I know that Taylor can't speak, but I promise you, Taylor and I are just so blessed to actually have you guys have us on here and be so interested in what we're doing.
I think it's amazing.
Even though it's vastly different, it's still very similar. So
yes.
To appreciate the artists behind the songs and to see how hard that Taylor is working is incredible. I know that Taylor's pushing her stuff and doing so many things. And we, I since Taylor can't speak, I'm hoping I'm speaking for her, but honestly, I'm just so,
she just said, so happy to be on here. Truly appreciate the support. Yeah. And we truly appreciate you being on here. Honestly, Taylor. And I want to let you know, I want to make a little announcement if you want to do this. And I haven't even asked you. I know I don't have a lot to offer you as far as promotion goes, but I would like to take your songs to our little radio station. We're going to play them first. Our little radio show. No, I wish I had a boat. I tried to get a blow-up boat. Don't even start with that. And I would, it's a long story. We'll go into that later. I would like to have you be the first person, if you want to. I would like to put you in the rotation at the radio station. I've been given permission to do that. So maybe you'll get 2 or 3 plays. It randomly generates when they play. I'll play them on my radio show, and then I will put them in the system now that somebody showed me how to do that. So I want to do that. At least that's something. And I can say, and we can play you during our show when we have time, because I think you're incredible. I think everybody we've had on our show are just incredible. I just don't know if I can go back and put everybody in the show, but,
and keep writing songs with that Stephanie Joyce.
I love that. I love the attitude on that. You got a thing there. Steph. You got a thing there, and don't be surprised because we're
that now. Right?
We're planning something soon. So I may be calling you and saying, "Hey, Taylor, I don't know. That would be a miracle. Hey, Taylor, are you busy? Come to Texas. I got something for you."
Oh,
yeah, for real.
She says she'll be there.
Awesome. I would love that. I mean, honestly.
Taylor, she's not even asking her co-host.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, we haven't even done it yet. Yeah. No. Everybody. Well, I'm always going
Heather, we're gonna have to get a bus from North Carolina to Texas.
That's what y'all need to do. Y'all come this way. I know y'all come this way. We'll go that way and we'll meet in the middle.
Well, you know, Sharice,
Georgia pine.
Sharice is touring Texas, so we can, you know.
That's exactly right, Jerry. Sharice is going to start touring Texas. We're so excited. It's a big surprise. We don't know when, we don't know where, but we know she'll be here eventually. So
Taylor said that she's trying to plan some tours down here.
Perfect.
That would be kind of cool to have that type of, you know, entertainment coming out with that.
I know it would be. And Taylor, let me do it. I'll get with you later. Let me do anything I can to help promote you. Yeah.
You know, we're too close to Tennessee. People are going to do Tennessee, Kentucky, around there, and then they're going to big cities. They're not coming to Pinehurst, North Carolina.
Well, the thing is, you know, you are in Tennessee, so you would think it's easier for you to promote yourself there. But the thing is, there's a lot of singer-songwriters, people trying to do what you're doing in Tennessee. So at least
I think that's the hub. That's the hookup. I think that's great, and most of the artists will say that's the way you want. Look at her meeting these people, and
it's so great. I've been so blessed.
Fantastic.
I just, it's almost like, Paul, I know you feel the same way. I do want to go to North Carolina too. Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, you do it, girl. Paul, I know you feel the same way. It's every show we have, we meet more and more amazingly talented people and blessings and friends and add it to our family because now you're part of the family. What's that, Jerry?
I mean,
Taylor, if you play in North Carolina, I will personally go and pick Heather up and her husband. I'm taking.
No, you don't have to drive, Jerry. I got that.
Okay. We are coming to see you. Okay.
Heather's so funny.
I got this. I can do it.
Yeah, you drive it? No, I've been.
I'll drive.
No.
Is she a bad driver? As
I am.
Jerry.
I get a little heavy on the foot every now and then.
No. Okay. Yes, let me know what areas. Taylor, you got that. I'm serious. Paul, I know Paul will too. We're going to promote whatever I can do.
Yeah.
We are a little bitty town. We have 15,000
It's so funny because when I go to work, I talk about the podcast that we do.
Yes, me too.
I don't just deal with Beeville people. I actually go down to, I have 4 or 5 different cities I go to for my job.
Yeah.
And when I go on these facilities, I talk about all of the people that we have on. I know, like talking about Heather with Book Press. I'm going to be. I brag on everyone.
I didn't even know you guys were having a color run this weekend.
I didn't know about it. Heather told me, and she lives in. Where do you live?
North
Carolina. She had to tell me about it, and I live here. What is wrong with us, Paul? God,
what do we have?
So Heather, next time we have something big, tell me.
I know we're gonna be going soon, but I want to get this plug in. Because before Sharice jumps all over this, Sandy Scarborough, which Heather knows Sandy, very good friend of both of ours, says, yes, Jerry's lyrics are always heartfelt and sincere. Taylor's voice would be a perfect match. So keep that in mind when Sharice calls you up or, contacts you.
So they're playing tug of war with poor Taylor is what they're doing. And Taylor, by the way, I write country music too. I'm just saying. I'm old and I have a lot of experience with lyrics too.
I write novels.
Paul can write a book about you. Paul can write a book about your songs.
Love for me to write something like a song about
poor
him.
Taylor, we're hanging up on her.
So good looking?
Yeah, she said, let's.
He's like, I don't want to have any more. I don't want to meet any more women, but. Why'd you make me so good looking?
Hey, what was it about?
So
about a month and a half ago?
Taylor, I wish we could hear you.
We had the jazz singer on.
Yes, wasn't she amazing? Oh my God!
This is so funny because you played 4 of her songs? I think it was 4. Maybe it was just 3.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But you played
3
4
or
of her
4,
songs.
Yeah.
And anyway, so this is a jazz. She was really nice. She's really good.
Nice, yes.
But after listening to her songs, I finally put it together. That very first song was about when she met the guy. Then the next song is when things weren't going so good. I mean,
it was a whole story of her life. That's what we were talking about. That's where the Taylor Swift thing came up. Remember that? I knew we had talked about that on the show. And it's like she needs to break up with some more.
That's when we met. Yeah, that's when things were good.
So Heather,
my key and
and she's like,
where do you think those songs come from?
My next song is about don't worry about the smell in the basement.
It's much easier to write a country song, especially because that's what I write too, Taylor. It's easier. I know. To me, it's easier to write a country song when you're going through stuff. I like to write happy, but it's hard for me to write a happy song. I'm like, how do I say I'm happy? I'm happy. Okay, I don't know.
See, and Heather, if you get on Heather's bad side, she'll put you in her story.
Yes,
right?
I know. I'm bombarded, so I have to be.
You'll be the
walking
bad
the
guy.
line, Paul. We got to stay on the tightrope, just like Paul's a magician. We got to make the blur. We're blurring the line. That's our new. There you go.
Heather
Paul.
and I talked about this the other night. We are such good friends. She knows that she can call me at any time, and I'll get the shovel and the bag of lime, and it'll be all good.
Even if it's soupy. Yeah.
Oh, that's just wrong. That's just wrong, y'all. Man, I have had a blast, and soupy. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. It's just a little soupy. Don't pay no attention. What's in the bag? It's just some leftovers.
The soupy ones.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so Taylor is the best at writing murder ballads. Gosh, I wish we could hear Taylor. Taylor,
you can have that line about the bag of lime and the shovel.
Yeah.
No.
What about the rattlesnake in the kitchen? Wait a minute. What happened with the rattlesnake in the kitchen that the aliens brought? I think we still need to work on that. And I can stay here all night, but I can't because if we make it too long, we won't be able to download the episode. We do. Gosh, I have had so much fun. I mean, honestly, and I knew I would. I've been looking forward to this for days, all week. And we got another great guest tomorrow, folks. You are not going to want to miss it. We have got the East and the Crow Band, and I can't even believe that they're coming on. They're a local band. They are so good. And just, oh my gosh, we're just, the talent that we're getting is incredible. Heather, gosh, you're awesome.
It was nice meeting you guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
You are
welcome.
welcome.
That was really cool. You know,
and I told
please
you
stay
before.
on as soon as we get off. I have a few questions for you offline.
Yes,
sure.
And I told you if you want to come back on anytime, just let me know. Because you're great. You really are great. I've enjoyed this so much. God, you made me laugh. Taylor, I love you, honey. I really do. You're now my new adopted daughter. I really mean that. And I love you too, Heather. I don't mean it like that, but
no, she's younger. I got it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it would be weird.
You can be my adopted granddaughter.
You're my adopted sister. You're like my sister. Heather, you're my sister. Taylor, you're my new daughter. So guys and gals, I appreciate y'all so much. I can't say it enough. I mean, I could, but it would take me all for the rest of my life. Jerry, thanks for joining us. Paul, always. Heather, Taylor, I love you guys. I really do. Thank you for tuning into Carolyn's Corner.
Thanks everybody for coming on and listen to this. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. And thank you to all of our listeners and viewers. We really do appreciate it. Remember, as you're going through your day, we say this all the time, try to treat others with kindness and love, because after all, we all need that. Everybody's going through something in this world. We appreciate y'all. Lean on me.
It's like very Brady Bunchy looking.
It is. And it feels like we're in the Brady Bunch with our little boxes. Good night. And thank you so much for tuning into Carolyn's Corner. We'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. You don't want to miss it. Telling you, you don't want to miss it. Hi. Good night, Sarah. Good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.